is now providing assistance to 6 adults who were displaced. Gwinnett fire officials want help from the public. They're urging anyone with information on the origin of the fire to contact their investigators. Tips can also be called into the Georgia Arson Control Hotline. If it leads to an arrest, there could be a reward of up to $10,000. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is currently 73 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says our heat wave continues today. High once again topping 90 degrees. Could see more rain this afternoon and into tonight as well. Heat index later this week could top 100 degrees. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Now, these hot temperatures come with a warning. Experts saying outdoor exercise can be dangerous with the heat if precautions are not taken. Laura Marsh, head of sports medicine at Texas A&M, recommends exercising in the mornings and evenings on days when the heat index tops 90.
Most importantly is to find a cool space. And so either get in the shade, preferably get into an air-conditioned situation.
And she says remember to wear cool clothes, bring some plenty of cool water as well. She suggests you limit outdoor exercise to about 30 minutes when the heat index hits triple digits. Heads up in the city of South Fulton, where all outdoor activities and practices are suspended at Old National Park after some mosquitoes in the area test positive for West Nile virus. Mayor Carmelita Gumbs says the closure is made out of an abundance of caution and will remain in effect at least through tonight. She says they'll check with the public health department to reevaluate after the park completes treatment. While many patients with the West Nile don't show any symptoms at all, it can be life-threatening in a handful of cases. The Atlanta City Council continues to look for answers after a study shows the city of the forest has seen its tree canopy shrink to less than 46%.
A Georgia Tech study confirms Atlanta's tree canopy loss in recent years is mostly due to multifamily developments. Professor Tony Giarrusso says most of the existing canopy is on private land, and that's where the city can grow its 50% canopy goal.
You incentivize citizens to do it, businesses to protect their tree, give them tax breaks.
Giarrusso also suggests that with what land the city has in hand,
Get really creative, right? With the Stitch coming up, you plant trees on the Stitch. You can go crazy and plant trees on buildings. Singapore has a forest in the sky.
lawmakers may also consider zoning changes to protect trees. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Some lawmakers on Capitol Hill demand answers after a new report finds President Trump was secretly taken off Air Force One last month in Turkey and put onto a military jet, all because of an apparent threat from Iran. Correspondent Catherine Falder says it is not unprecedented. Then President Clinton was snuck off a flight back in 2000.
What is very strange here is that with the Clinton example, the press pool were privy to what was going on, obviously would not report it until it was safe. In this case, we're only finding out because the Washington Post reported it.
And we found out a month later. She says it leads to questions about the significance of that security threat. White House officials saying it was a possible surface-to-air missile threat to Air Force One. And it may be an education trend that catches on. Maybe. A major university makes big grading changes for incoming freshmen.
Beginning next fall, instead of getting an A, B, C, or D, some first-semester freshmen at the University of Michigan will get only a pass or no credit. And neither designation will count toward their GPA.
Hannah Battah reports the university defends the move, saying students can explore subjects that don't come easily to them, and they can take a course in a new field without fear of starting their college career with a low grade. It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Starting the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Smile on Mark McKay.
Crash rolling into East Atlanta. John on I-20 westbound takes out the left lane. I-20 west past Moreland Avenue, keeping things slow back toward Flat Shoals, Gresham. On that east side perimeter, DOT's been working in a left lane of 285 southbound past Glenwood, exit 44. That's keeping the inner loop jammed back toward Memorial Drive. Jam between 675 and I-20 will start to clear. Everything's on the shoulder now. Crash 285 northbound at the I-20 interchange. Slowly clearing out the 285 ride between Tucker and Dunwoody. Pretty rugged, though, still through Doraville this morning. What's left over out of the northern burbs, Ashley Fresca?
Finally thinning out in the express lanes out of the northwest on 575 south leaving Woodstock. 75 south getting a little slower down from Delk Road. Still delays between Alfred and Roswell as you roll 400 southbound. And the worst of it leaving Duluth on 85 south is just trying to get past Indian Trail. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, high 92. A few thunderstorms possible for tonight into early tomorrow morning, lows in the mid-70s.
72 degrees in Cartersville, 72 in Loganville, 73 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Good morning, friends. Beautiful Wednesday here in Metro Atlanta. We have got a Lollapalooza-esque lineup of guests today. I don't think that's hyperbole, Deborah. We've got a ton of amazing guests for you. Just a minute, we're going to check in with White House correspondent John Decker on yesterday's primary results. Political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to cover the primaries as well, live in studio at 10:35. We're going to update the war with Iran. Our good friend Tyler Kendall from Bloomberg News at the White House. Laura Kelly from News Nation on the future of the Board of Peace, right? We had a lot of big headlines about the Board of Peace and the rebuilding of Gaza. I don't know if that's on life support or not. We'll check in with her. Kim Commando joins us live. Stephen Portnoy is going to talk about that Air Force One switcheroo story. And Deborah, you've got two prize packs to give away today.
Yeah, another pair of tickets for you to go see Blackberry Smoke and more tickets to see Sugarland. Again, those tickets aren't even on sale, and we will get them to you.
Win them before you can buy them. Sugarland tickets. Speaking about buying, I got yesterday, Deborah, my Vinny Drip Herd shirts that you crafted and posted online. I'm wearing one right now if you're watching the live stream. I'll post one on my Instagram story. It's a cartoon of Vinny with his signature catchphrase "Herd" on there. I love it. Vinny looks like an orange Muppet in this version.
Yeah, it looks a little orange on that color, maybe.
But I've got the rest of them in here, so
okay.
we'll divvy them out. And maybe Vinny's less orange. I absolutely love this shirt, though. And I'll post the link if you want to buy them, too. So the profit splitting between Deborah and Vinny, is that how we're going to work the profit share?
You have to make so many sales to get any type of credit.
Well, I bought a bunch.
I figured we would just buy some more stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so yeah, it's really, I like it. I like the shirt, the Vinny Drip shirt. Herd. All right, let's kick off our coverage of yesterday's big primaries. Joining us on the Mark Arum Show, White House correspondent John Decker. John, a lot of big name primaries yesterday. What were the major takeaways for you as we head up toward the midterm elections?
Well, I was paying attention to three states in particular yesterday: Wisconsin, Minnesota, and South Carolina. Wisconsin and Minnesota because of the Democratic races going on, and South Carolina because of that Republican Senate primary. So as it relates to Wisconsin, for those Democrats concerned about the party being painted with this broad brush of socialism, I think they got a reprieve because the candidate who was the mainstream Democrat running emerged victorious narrowly, and that was a good thing for those who were concerned about that narrative for Democrats heading into the general election. And then in Minnesota, the Democrats there chose a progressive candidate to be their nominee for the U.S. Senate. They also chose Amy Klobuchar, by the way, to be their nominee for governor. She is likely the next governor of Minnesota. And then in South Carolina, Darlene Graham. She finished on top in a very crowded primary. She will now face the person who finished second behind her, Ralph Norman, in a runoff election. That will be on August the 25th. I asked the president about that race, and he told me that he intends to go down to South Carolina to campaign for Darlene Graham before that runoff election.
Interesting. Now, the folks in South Carolina, are they okay with that? You know, she was anointed to replace her brother and has the full backing of the president. And, I mean, I guess they'll have a chance to vote in this runoff, but it's such a unique situation there.
It's a unique situation. You know, I can't speak for every South Carolinian, obviously, or every South Carolina Republican. But, look, she got first place. She finished with 32% of the vote, crowded primary. No one expected anyone to get more than 50%. And she now has the endorsement not only of President Trump, the most important Republican out there, the leader of the party, but she also has the endorsement of the senior Republican senator from South Carolina, Tim Scott, and also the governor of South Carolina, Henry McMaster. So she's got a lot going for her heading into that runoff. Obviously, she has to do a lot on her own. But I was at that Republican debate, as you may recall, Mark, last Monday night, and I thought she held her own about against every Republican, including seasoned politicians who were up there on that debate stage.
Yeah, I remember you reporting on that the day after that. Let's go back to Minnesota because there's some familiar names on the ballot: Michelle Tafoya and Mike Lindell of the My Pillow fame.
So Mike Lindell fell short. He was running to be the Republican nominee for governor of Minnesota. He will not be the nominee. He lost. Michelle Tafoya, different story. People may remember her as a sideline NFL reporter. Now she's entered politics, and she will be the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate in Minnesota. We'll see how she does. I think that she has a lot going for her, name recognition, and she's going up against someone who identifies themselves, as a democratic socialist. So that will be an interesting race to watch in November.
John, final quick question. I knew you're traveling with the president. Are you back in D.C., and anything we should be looking forward to at the White House today?
I'm back in D.C. Yeah, it was a good trip out to Ohio, my first trip on that new Air Force One, the one that was gifted by the government of Qatar. Pretty interesting flight. It was the real deal. It wasn't a decoy. And now the president's back. I'm back in Washington, D.C. Pretty light day for the president. No public events. That could change, though. We'll see. The president spoke a little bit about that situation involving the Air Force One trip from Turkey to the U.K. last night when we came back. And I asked the president a number of questions in that regard, and you can hear his answers to my questions on my podcast today, the White House Briefing Room with John Decker. So hopefully you can tune into that.
Everyone must subscribe. John, great stuff as always. Have a great day, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Before we recap the primaries there and my initial reaction, John mentioned he asked President Trump about that Air Force One switcheroo last night.
No, not surprised. I have a lot of threats. I have a lot of threats that you don't know about. Any consequential president has a lot of threats. Non-consequential presidents don't get threatened. And I think that I'm maybe the most consequential president.
We'll have more on that Air Force One, the cloak and dagger move there, leaving Turkey, right? Yeah. Stephen Portman from ABC News is going to join us after the news break at 9:35. Just going back to the primary results, and we're going to talk with Stephen Lawson. He obviously knows more about this than I do. But to me, the big takeaway was the establishment candidate in Wisconsin defeating the Democratic Socialist. And the polling going into this showed her, the Democratic Socialist, winning by a lot, like huge margin of victory. And the establishment candidate came back and won narrowly, like really small margin of victory. But the polling there was way off. And if I don't know if that's a canary in the coal mine when it comes to polling, why the polls got that so wrong, but it was a big surprise. Obviously, establishment Democrats are happy. Democratic Socialists not so happy with the result. But again, political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to join us live in studio to break it all down for us. We had a bunch of back to the Lindsey Graham sister win in the primary. She's got a runoff now. And John Decker is there. He said, and I remember talking to him after that Republican debate in South Carolina. He said she performed astonishingly well, was great. I don't know. Is it weird, Deborah? It just feels icky to me that they just replaced Lindsey Graham with his sister. And I'm sure she's qualified and capable. But imagine you are like an up and coming politician in South Carolina. And there's this opening, a tragic opening with Lindsey Graham passing her. All right, now's my chance. I didn't think I was going to have a chance to run for Senate. And then they just anoint his sister. And then President Trump endorses the sister. She wins the primary. I just don't like, in general, and I've said this for years, when Hillary Clinton ran, I was like, I don't want it to seem like a monarchy where we just keep power in one family. Right, we had the Bushes, and then Bill Clinton, and then Hillary Clinton was running, and that's why people are like, "Oh, Michelle Obama." Let's, you get one person per family can be the president or be a senator.
Just
or
one?
Yeah, just one. Like president.
I mean, you've had different Roosevelts, right? And you've had different...
Yeah, but they weren't. I mean, they were fifth
exactly,
cousins.
but they were still one family.
Yeah, the Adams going back to the
Kennedys.
Yes, I don't want it to seem like a monarchy where it's like just a few families just control all of our politics. Like looking ahead to 2028, they're doing polling now for who's going to replace President Trump. And there's Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, and DeSantis. But they're asking about Don Jr. No, just one and done. But anyway, it looks like she is going to win the runoff if the numbers that she had a pretty big margin of victory. Did Lindsey Graham's sister in that, but again. we'll see what happens in the general. Again, Stephen Lawson joining us live at 10:35 for the latest on that. This is a story, Deborah. This fake traffic stop call. This wasn't in Georgia, right? This was
No,
out
this
of
was
state.
in Maryland.
All right, so basically there's a police officer, and I could see myself doing this because I think we all do this to a certain extent. He basically was making up fake traffic stops so he wouldn't get dispatched to actual work service calls. Did I sum it up correctly?
That's basically the story, yeah. So what happens is this police officer, while he was on duty, they would get calls to respond to a big accident or some other type of issue, like we need an officer here. And so like, are you in the area? Or they can see kind of where your cars are, right? And he'd be like, oh, no, I'm actually doing a traffic stop right now. I can't leave. So this happened so many times that they actually had an investigation on this person where they ended up following him around for a while and to see that he really wasn't doing traffic stops. Like he was stopped places, but sometimes he was just parked in a parking lot. One time they busted him purchasing a smoothie when he was supposed to be responding to a call. So,
all right, I understand. Like that's a big no-no, right? If you're a police officer, you can't fake a traffic stop so you don't have to call and deal with a fender bender or something like that. But I'm pretty sure all of us do something similar in our jobs. Like fake being busy or working on something so we don't have to do something that is worse. Like I've when I was working at the bowling alley and like one of the this is back in college, not recently. I'm working at the Ho Bowl in Poughkeepsie, New York. And one of the biggest pain in the butts was resetting the pin setter in the back. It was like mechanical. You get dirty and greasy. It was the worst job. And my boss would be like, "Hey, Arum, lane 7 is acting up. Can you go fix it?" And I'd be like, "Boss, I can't. I'm in the middle of this. I'm redoing the schedule for the leagues, and it's got to be." I would kind of like make up another task to be like, "Oh, give it to Frankie. Let Frankie do it. I'm swamped here. I think we all have, but I guess as a police officer, you just can't do that. You can't make up a
just
fake,
say, no, I don't want to go to this call.
But of all things that police officers could do, that seems the most benign.
He was still out there and about and stuff. He just didn't want to go to certain calls.
It's a bad look, though. Oh, no, I got a traffic stop while he's getting a smoothie. How are there's so many smoothie joints around. How are those places still? I know I'm the last person to talk about smoothies. Are you a smoothie guy, Vin? You are a smoothie guy. All right, the younger generation keeping the smoothies up. We're going to come back, hit our top local stories right now, though, at 9:18. Let's check the ride around town. Hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Good news as you make your way into downtown Atlanta. We had a trouble spot clear out of the center lanes. I-20 westbound past Moreland Avenue, exit 60. All lanes are back open. Another trouble spot trying to clear in East Point. Highway 166, Langford Parkway westbound, right at Highway 29, Main Street. That's in the left lane, but a tow truck just towed away the vehicle involved, so they're going to clear that out of the left lane. And of course, if you're making your way through downtown, all volume still a full house this morning. 7585 north and southbound between 166 and 17th Street. This report is brought to you by Air Conditioning Specialist. Ready for summer? Call Air Conditioning Specialist. Get a professional AC tune-up for just $59. Call 478-COMFORT. ACS, your comfort is our specialty. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
His job is to clear up the confusion.
The old people were not broken by a record. You understand? These are old people who are breaking records.
Okay. Of the topics on everyone's mind.
Physical records? No. They're doing things that are breaking records.
I'm going to throw this Beatles album on the ground better than Jesus.
And enough of it.
Or maybe it's just his mind.
That John Lennon, who does he think he is?
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Is your termite company playing games in your yard? First, it's Where's Waldo, because you never actually see them inspecting. If you do finally spot them, they're aimlessly wandering around playing hide and seek, trying to find bait stations.
Hey, it's Mark Arum with Matt Breda from Breda Pest Management. Matt, what's with the hide and seek of the bait stations?
That guy walking around your yard is supposed to be checking bait stations about every 15 feet. But in reality, they often don't know where your bait stations are anymore. And worse, they're not even checking inside your home where the worst termite damage is done.
If termites are eating your house, how would they know just by walking around outside?
Exactly. Switch to Breda for total termite protection inside and out. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, Bugs.
Don't ignore cracks around your windows, doors, or in your bricks. It could be a symptom of foundation trouble.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham, owner of Atlanta Ramjack. Foundations are all we do, so we fix it right the first time. I'm proud to have the most experienced technicians that specialize only in foundation repair.
Ramjack will properly diagnose your issue and only use the highest quality products. Google Atlanta Ramjack for your free estimate.
Ramjack.
Before you buy your next vehicle, get the facts. I'm Kevin Deutsch, General Manager of Butler Lexus of South Atlanta and co-host of the Car Guys radio show. Every Saturday, we deliver insider industry knowledge that empowers you inside the dealership and when you're ready for a luxury experience that reflects that same integrity. Butler Lexus of South Atlanta is ready for you. Exceptional vehicles, elevated service, complete confidence, and oh yeah, fresh baked cookies every day. Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James, the only firm to call if you're hurt in a crash. 800-9-million and sweetjames.com.
We are here with investment advisor Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and co-host of Retire ATL every weekend right here. And Matt, you've said that a lot of adults come to see you and the team at the Vincent Financial Group. They have their portfolio prepared. They need some guidance, but they're missing one major aspect of their retirement strategy.
Most people seem to come into our office without clearly defined goals. They may have, like a broad hope that, hey, I'm hoping that I can retire at this age. And if I can retire at this age and not have to go back to work and maybe travel like a couple times a year, I think that's maybe what I'm looking for, something like that, which that's great. If that's where you are, a lot of people don't spend tons of time thinking about this, and it sneaks up on you. But what I would tell you is from someone who's trying to put together the puzzle, I'm going to say, those aren't super clearly defined goals. Let's drill down on, you say you want to travel. Why? Tell me more. So there's a whole lot more than just I'd like to travel. And then once we've gotten to the point where you're kind of upset that we keep asking you about what else you want to do, what other goals do you have? Once you're like, gosh, there's no more, stop asking me. Right. Okay, now maybe we've got a real clear picture of what your goals look like, and then we can kind of work backwards and we can put together a plan.
What do you want out of your retirement? It's your life's work. It's your financial future. And most importantly, how can the team at the Vincent Financial Group help get you there? Call today for your initial no-cost, no-obligation consultation. 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488. Or get more at retireatlradio.com. And join us for Retire ATL every weekend right here. And it's all powered by the Vincent Financial Group.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
When it comes to repairing crawl space issues, it's not one size fits all. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions knows that. Their experts will recommend a solution tailored to your home. Simply book an appointment online at aquaguard.net. Remember the name.
AquaGuard.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow, Friday, August 21st, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, with special guests Lainey Wilson and Ashley McBride. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
That audio is from 1877. 1877. Let me play it again.
Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
On this date in 1877, inventor Thomas Edison made his first sound recording by etching a foil-wrapped cylinder with a thin metal needle. That was Mary Had a Little Lamb on his Edison phone. That dude was good at marketing. He was the President Trump of marketing of the 19th century. Put his name on everything, but well-deserved. 6 key inventions by Thomas Edison. The automatic telegraph, the carbon telephone transmitter, long-lasting light bulb, phonograph, movie camera and viewer, alkaline storage battery. Not the nicest dude, apparently, but
I've heard that too.
Yeah, there's a great documentary on American Experience about him. Menlo Park, was his operation in New Jersey. I need to get there. This is like an Edison museum.
You've seen the Larry David stuff about history, right?
Yeah, but I didn't get to this part yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. If you are about to board a MARTA bus, I hope the bus is not delayed. That almost sounded like a nursery rhyme. If you're about to board a MARTA bus,
you were just inspired by the Mary Had a Little
Yeah,
Lamb.
that's right, I was. Apparently, there's a shortage of MARTA bus drivers, Deborah.
Yeah, MARTA is looking for more experienced drivers, and they've got a lot of disruptions because they've had people just calling in sick, not showing up, or canceling, and all this absenteeism going on right now. So they're really trying to hire new drivers. They're doing bus fares. They're offering bonuses. They're doing apprenticeship programs. Like if you've never driven a bus, they'll even go out there and teach you. And it's gotten so bad that they've had to extend routes and even cancel some routes. And now people are saying, I have no way to get other places because public transport is the only thing I rely on.
There's a lot of folks that rely on MARTA bus to get to and from work and appointments, et cetera. But I understand it because being a MARTA bus driver is one of the most thankless jobs around because you've got to deal with Atlanta traffic, first of all. You got to deal with people, which is no one likes to deal with people,
right? Yeah, you should have to babysit adults.
Yes, exactly. And when you make your MARTA bus stops in Atlanta, and I'm guilty of this, if I'm stuck behind a MARTA bus, exactly. Like, oh, what the hell? With a school bus, it's like, oh, it's a school bus. All right, I'll deal with it. I'll stop. But when you're behind a MARTA bus, you're just like, your blood boils. You're like, move out of the way, bus. Move. And I'm sure the pay is not great, and
you're
there's
sitting all day,
safety
right?
issues. So I would assume that you need a special type of driver's license to drive.
You might need a CDL for a bus.
Something like that. That is a thankless job.
I always say thank you to my bus drivers.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's whatever kind of bus. When I get off, even if they're not paying attention, I always say thank you.
Do you tip them? Can you tip a bus driver?
I've never tried that, honestly.
I tip. Do you ever take that airport shuttle, like the airport park and ride?
I take MARTA, which drops me off right there.
Understood. But on those aren't buses. They're like little shuttle buses.
No, I've only had to.
I always tip them.
When I go international.
Yeah.
I guess I've never done that either. I should, huh?
Do you think we'll get to a point where mass transit and buses are so popular that you have like first class and coach?
That's called Europe.
Really?
You have that in Europe. Yeah, all over Italy you have different classes of. Didn't you ride the train when you were in Italy?
I'm talking about a bus.
Oh, a bus. I don't know.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Like you're riding the first class section of a bus and they're serving you a meal and they
2 rows behind you.
Yeah, there's a curtain they pull down. Anyway, all right, MARTA bus driver shortage if you are looking for a gig. Judd's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back to D.C., the latest on the Cloak and Dagger Air Force One switcheroo. Our coverage continues next on The Mark Arum Show.
MyLand has been around for decades, helping homeowners reduce their mortgage expenses. Homeowners like me. This is Scott Slade. The latest trend, homeowners accessing their equity without touching their low rate on their first mortgage. MyLand can help you access the equity with a home equity line of credit. These loans could close quickly and even have options for a low fixed rate. So many homeowners feel trapped with a great rate in their mortgage but have credit card debt that just doesn't seem to go away. These loans are a great tool for this purpose. Call MyLand today. See how a home equity loan can work for you. I've been saying it for years and I'll keep saying it. The guys and gals at MyLand are the best. Do yourself a favor. Call them today and see for yourself. You'll be glad you did. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769. MyLand's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys, know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBradio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, a new report this morning finds inflation slowed slightly last month here in the U.S. Numbers showing consumer prices rose 3.4% in July. That's down from 3.5% in June.
What does that mean? Prices are 3.4% higher compared to the same time last year. And that is about where we were the month before, but it is still above where you want to see in a healthy economy, which is typically closer to a 2% rate.
That's Elizabeth Schulze reporting. Now, analysts say the new numbers appear to show that higher oil and gas prices caused by the conflict in the Middle East are having only limited impacts right now on other costs overall. But the higher rate likely means we aren't much closer to lower interest rates in the Federal Reserve. We'll check on the numbers from Wall Street as the bell rings this morning in about 2 minutes. It's 74 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we'll top 90 degrees once again today. Another chance of storms this afternoon and into tonight as well. Boy, we could hit triple-digit heat index later on this week into the weekend. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Investigators in Lawrenceville asked for the public's help in tracking down an apparent arsonist responsible for a house fire. It happened along Camp Perrin Road near Cedar Drive in a single-family home that led to a partial collapse there. No one was hurt, and the Red Cross is helping 6 people who lived at the home. Police say evidence shows the fire was intentionally set. A reward of up to $10,000 may be up for grabs. You can send information to the Georgia Arson Control Hotline. The DeKalb County Commission clears the way for an end to a moratorium on adult toy stores by changing some codes and regulations. A clerk's office staffer says those changes should bring an end to a ban on new adult business applications that have been in place since last fall.
Given the previous 2 votes, those items will go into immediate effect and the current moratorium will expire on September 3rd. So the staff recommendation is for withdrawal.
The changes include a provision banning the sale of adult devices within 150 feet of residential areas. Applicants must also pass a tough approval process after that moratorium expires on September 3rd, next month. And we are seeing a big comeback among hybrid cars.
As sales of electric vehicles slow over high prices and limited charging, consumers are turning back to these gas-electric models. Hybrids now make up 1 in 7 new cars sold in the U.S., up from less than 3% 6 years ago. Automakers are rushing to add more models. For car companies, hybrids are attractive, fetching a premium of as much as $3,000 per vehicle over gas-powered models. Kia says it expects high oil prices to persist, which will push the appetite for hybrids higher. Bloomberg's Courtney Donahoe for 95.5 WSB.
It is 9:33 as we check your money after this morning's report showing inflation rate has slowed slightly. Wall Street is looking at that favorably. The Dow opening up slightly, about 50 points right now. NASDAQ is well up, almost 200 points at the moment. S&P is also in positive territory. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. Starting the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And trouble out of Buford now. 985 southbound just before the I-85 merger. Crash has been working in at least a lane. You can use Satellite Boulevard as an alternate, or if you're traveling out of Flowery Branch into Buford, use Atlanta Highway, Highway 13, Buford Highway as an alternate around that. Looking for new trouble, 85 southbound past Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. The brake lights continue as you leave Highway 316. And a crash now again on the southeast leg of the perimeter. The latest one now, 285 westbound, the interloop at Flat Shoals Parkway, exit 48. That's in the left lane. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 92. Scattered rain, showers, and thunderstorms this afternoon, and a few thunderstorms will linger overnight into early tomorrow morning. Lows in the mid-70s, then climbing to a high of 95 for tomorrow afternoon. By Friday, daytime highs will climb to the upper 90s.
74 degrees right now in South Fulton, 72 in Cumming, 74 in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
It doesn't have to be like this.
The second crash we're dealing with this morning.
You don't have to put up with
Use
it.
Covington Highway as your alternate.
You don't have to sit in it.
Travel advisory in Sandy Springs.
And you don't have to look at your phone to get out of it.
It is Atlanta traffic, and getting you out of it is what we do
Consider
best.
using Buford Highway or Satellite Boulevard.
Updated traffic as often as you need.
Traffic is at a crawl.
From local traffic reporters you trust 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta gets there.
I go by Secret Service and the military. They wanted me to go on a different flight, a different plane.
Still to come, we'll update the Cloak and Dagger Air Force One switcheroo. But coming up next, relatedly, the latest on the Iran war. Tyler Kendall from Bloomberg live at the White House in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
A brighter home with bigger views is in your future.
It's Jonathan and Ted from NG Windows. Upgrading to Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows is transformative.
They change the way your home feels with more daylight and bigger views.
They're beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl composite windows.
Window and door shopping made simple at ngwindows.com.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah!
When it comes to public safety, Georgia has a voice in Washington. Congressman Mike Collins. Collins wrote the Laken-Riley Act, signed into law by President Trump, requiring federal detention of illegal immigrants charged with serious crimes. Collins wrote the Trank Act, signed into law by President Biden, cracking down on fentanyl-laced tranquilizers. 2 laws, 2 presidents, 1 priority: protecting Georgia families. Learn more. Visit collins.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
If you live through an Atlanta summer, you know your AC has to be ready. That's why I recommend Reliable Heating and Air. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you right now. You can get any size AC, just $69.99 a month with 0 down. And with their Comfort Club, repairs, maintenance, even filters are included for life. You can schedule your free consultation online at reliableair.com. Reliable Heating and Air, always here for you.
Want to love your deck so much that you don't even want to go on vacation? Hi, I'm Scott Nelson, owner of Nelson Exteriors, and your new deck will be your family's favorite staycation. We do decks differently. Beautiful, high-end decks at a reasonable price, materials you choose, and lots of options. With Nelson Exteriors, you'll get a high-quality, affordable, custom deck, handcrafted by our licensed and insured experts. For an extraordinary deck renovation, Google Nelson Exteriors.
9:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming up at 10:35, political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio going to break down the primary results from 6 states that held their primaries yesterday. Right now, continue our team coverage of the war in Iran. Joining us from the White House from Bloomberg News, becoming a regular on the Mark Arum Show. It's Tyler Kendall. How are you, Tyler?
Hi, Mark. Good morning.
I mean, there's like a million stories we could talk about the Iran war, but this really stuck out to me. The headline at Bloomberg.com this morning about Iran's military pivoting to offensive mode for the next round of the war. They've been basically playing defense since February 28th.
Yeah, pretty remarkable statement out from an IRGC official, marking really the most detailed official explanation that we've gotten yet when it comes to strategy behind Iran's supreme leader in recent days confirming new picks to key military posts. We've seen this flurry of new military appointments, at least 6 commanders confirmed yesterday. And what this IRGC official is saying marks a shift to a, quote, offensive doctrine. As you mentioned, Iran has maintained that they have taken a defensive posture so far in the war. Now, that would likely be debated considering we've seen Iran move to provoke the ceasefire that was in place, target commercial shipping, but it's definitely raising the threat of escalation because at least publicly at the moment, the two sides are really digging into their positions, and we've gotten very little indication from the Iranian side that they're willing to let up that leverage when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz.
I would say, Tyler, most of the offensive moves by Iran had been on their Arab neighbors in the region, which caught a lot of folks off guard, strikes against Jordan and Oman and Saudi Arabia, et cetera. But I also think it's lost in this because you and I talked about the economic struggles right now with Iran, the 70% inflation rate, like people are standing in line for food. The Iranian army is not a small outfit. Like at a minimum, there's 500,000 active duty soldiers. So if this does escalate and there is, boots on the ground from the United States, this isn't a walkover army that we would be dealing with.
That's a good point. I think we should say at the moment, though, the U.S. is still saying that it is pursuing diplomacy. We have new reporting per a White House official telling us that the president remains in no rush, in their words, to secure a deal, believing that economic pressure that you just outlined, as well as what is factional fighting within the Iranian government between those hardliners in the IRGC and some of the relatively more moderate members will soon force the country's hand in negotiations. And that's the strategy that we're getting, at least out of the administration, on what their posture is going to look like while we get this more aggressive rhetoric from the Iranian side. The U.S. is saying that it is still committed to this route of trying to squeeze from an economic angle on the country. But you're right, amid questions about U.S. stockpiles and replenishment, there is definitely this indication that Iran, according to Iranian state media and the IRGC, that they feel that they are in a position that they could still move into this more offensive posture, in the words of the official.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward, based on the reporting from Bloomberg this morning about Iran switching to an offensive. It seems like the Trump administration in the United States ready to sit this out and keep applying the economic pressure. But could it be Iran that then takes, military escalation to the next level while we're like, hey, we're just going to blockade the strait and we're going to squeeze you for all we can economically? Could Iran be the next to act militarily?
Well, if we take the IRGC statement, they could, but there is, of course, significant risk here, including the fact that, as you mentioned, a lot of Iran's offensive attacks have been against regional neighbors who have been really trying to ramp up the pressure, trying to mediate this conflict and make sure that it doesn't come to that point. We can confirm that Pakistani officials are in Iran today in a bid to help move these negotiations forward, though the two sides seem very far apart on what a potential breakthrough would look like, including that Iran is demanding significant compensation when it comes to war damages, as they're referred to, in order to reopen the strait, considered to be a new provision in their demands, since that had been a demand on the table to talk about curbs on Iran's nuclear program. But now it's a demand to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So we're sort of going out of order from what we had been working toward just a few months ago. Mark, we'll see where it ultimately goes from here, but definitely that risk of escalation is still on the table, at least publicly, according to the two sides.
Yeah, and again, as you and I have talked about, there's like 6 different fractions in the Iranian regime right now, and one says one thing, another says another. So it's kind of difficult to tell what really might come next through all that dust. Tyler Kendall, Bloomberg News at the White House. Tyler, have a great day, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Any updates on the Iran war? Of course, we will bring them to you live here, 24/7 on 95.5 WSB. Markets are up today, 12 minutes into the trading session. Dow's up 100. NASDAQ's up 155. Oil down 0.2%, but that Texas sweet crude is at $83 a barrel. It was at 68 when we thought with a memorandum of understanding. Certainly 83 better than 100 plus, which we saw at the height of the Iranian war. I do want to update. This is a story that I don't think is getting enough pub. Hard-fought homecoming for former U.S. Marine Robert Gilman as he returns to the U.S. following years of Russian detention. ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Radis has more.
Overnight, former U.S. Marine Robert Gilman touching down on American soil after 4 years in a Russian prison. His plane met by U.S. negotiator and special envoy Steve Witkoff. Trump official Sebastian Gorka posting pictures on X showing a gaunt 32-year-old Gilman given Trump paraphernalia, a cheeseburger, milkshake, and a cigar.
Love that. Love that. He's back safe and sound. Yeah, Russian prison, I've never been. Hopefully will never be. But you laugh that
I've never been.
I've never been in a Russian.
I hope so.
But I can only imagine the borscht, the gruel that you're served there.
Yeah, it can't be that great.
I wonder if they just assumed, like, all right, this dude wants a cheeseburger and a milkshake and a cigar.
There's nothing wrong with a cheeseburger and a milkshake, right?
That's a great get out of prison first meal there. But 4 years in custody. I want to know what was exchanged. Like, there had to have been some exchange. Did we have a spy? Did we have some intel? I mean, what was going on behind the scenes? Apparently, it's bipartisan, though, on Capitol Hill to get that U.S. Marine back home. Enjoy the cheeseburger, the milkshake, and that cigar. Very cool. Speaking of Russia, Russian national living in the United States popped in a massive meth bust, Deborah.
massive meth bust, about 800 pounds busted in Louisiana on the interstate. Now, they don't really say why there was a traffic stop. They just said this Anton, I can't pronounce Russian names, Rakov was pulled over for a traffic stop, driving a big rig, right? And after they did some investigation.
Okay, was it like a Honda Civic with 800 pounds?
No. But yeah, just under 800 pounds of meth. And I don't know if you looked at the photo. They're literally like wrapped up like little bricks, right? To the point where it makes like this kind of small pyramid, and it comes up to about the chest of like the police officer that's standing next to it.
Is that something they look for at weigh stations? I'm so out of the loop. You're on an interstate and you're like, weigh station next mile.
Well, you're supposed to give them paper to see what you're carrying, and if it has the right weight, when you come on there, they can kind of guess. I don't know. Like, I guess it could have said, I'm carrying fertilizer, and if they pass the inspection, there's no reason to double check.
I know we have a ton of big rig drivers listening. Love you folks. Salt of the earth. Without you, we're not eating. We don't have clothes, etc. Are you happy when the weigh station is closed? That you think yes?
Yes, because my dad used to make deliveries for the farm.
Yeah.
You still have to. There's something that you have to do, but if it's closed, it's just like because it slows your route down.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am unfamiliar. I always wanted to do that as a job, just hit the open road in a big rig, and but I'm thinking if I were in that position, that gives me a potty break. Like, oh, good, a weigh station. I can use the facilities here.
Wouldn't you rather stop at a Buc-ee's?
Yeah, of course. If there are any truck drivers out there, let me know if you are happy when the weigh station is closed. Just go to Mark Arum, contact us, or slide into my DMs on social at Mark Arum. 9:46 when we come back. What's the latest with the Board of Peace in Gaza? Right now, what's the latest on the roads with Mike Shields?
Yeah, delays in DeKalb County, Mark, on the southeast leg of the perimeter. This crash now in 2 left lanes. 285 westbound, the interloop, Flat Shoals Parkway, exit 48. Delays back to I-20, starting to impact I-20 east and west, getting past 285 as well. The east side perimeter, new trouble spot forming. 285 northbound, the outer loop past La Vista Road, exit 37. Delays start at Highway 78. And trouble still working out at Buford. 985 southbound before the I-85 merger has a lane blocked. You can always use Satellite Boulevard or Buford Highway as alternates. This report is brought to you by National Heritage Academies. At National Heritage Academies, their moral focus program builds values like compassion and respect into their challenging academic curriculum. NHA, find a tuition-free K-12 school today. From the Law Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Von Hessler.
Just a public service here.
Radio talk show host.
If you spot a lanternfly.
They're pretty.
No,
they're not pretty.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Entomologist.
But if you spot a lanternfly.
And insect.
Take a photo.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
Then kill it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
I gotta say, though, they're pretty crazy looking.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
You didn't choose to be hurt in a wreck, but you can choose John Foy & Associates for the care and compensation you're entitled to. It's Smile and Mark McKay. The Strong Arm treats you the way you deserve to be treated. When you call, they'll answer. When you need them, they'll be there with the dignity, compassion, and respect that you deserve. They treat you like a person, not a file. With zero cost until they win, get your free case evaluation at johnfoy.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, financial study after financial study keeps showing us a troubling trend. Many Americans believe they could work and work and work with no end in sight and still not have enough saved to retire comfortably. And that's the key word here. So how do we retire comfortably?
One of the things I think everybody listening should focus on is pick a retirement date. If you're in a traditional job and it's not your passion and you don't own the company, pick a retirement date. Do you want to retire at 62? Do you want to retire at 65? Pick that date, meet with us, and let's go get it. And we will map it out, but give us a target to hit. My expectation is if you came in and we broke all of that down and created a financial plan around it, my inclination is that you go back to work with a totally different attitude.
Yeah.
Because you will have a target to shoot for. Now, for those of you that do not have $1 million portfolio, it's okay. Your number is your number. We've got to make it work for you. It's all about income and the safety of that income and the taxation of that income on you. So do not discount what you've built and what you have saved, but begin the process, especially if you fit this category where you feel like, I may have to work, I guess, forever,
Right.
because there is no retirement date. That's a lot of burden to carry. I think, and I would hope, we can lift some of that burden for you.
It all starts with the Portfolio X-ray, and that report is complimentary. Get started with the Hoffman Financial Group today. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Did you know you can save up to $35 on your next fill-up? Redeem your fuel points for big savings at the pump. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-611-2046. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-611-2046. That's 800-611-2046. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I mean, just so you understand, I like the other people in the race also. They're all Trump. I mean, they're all Trumpers, but, I endorsed her. I think she's great. It's really in honor of her brother, and she's really a very smart woman.
President Trump commenting on Senator Darlene Graham advancing to a runoff from the primaries. 10:35, political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio breaking down all the primary results. Speaking of President Trump, though, a lot of big headlines with that 15-point plan and the Board of Peace, and really haven't heard much about it until this week, and the news apparently not good. Covering the story, joining us from the Hill on the Mark Arum Show, it's Laura Kelly. Laura, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I mean, the big hiccup that I saw recently was Israel saying, or at least Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying, no, we're not down with this 15-point plan.
Yes, and the initial reaction from the Trump administration was recognizing that maybe Netanyahu are saying these things because of domestic political considerations. He faces a really tough election contest in October, and his political enemies are attacking him as failing to deliver a decisive defeat of Hamas. So for him to kind of accept this plan that would call for an Israeli withdrawal and trusting other mechanisms to ensure that Hamas disarmed doesn't really play well with voters.
What about the Board of Peace in general? We were expecting billions and billions of dollars to be raised to help rebuild Gaza. We had some questionable members that were automatically added to the Board of Peace. Where do things stand in general with the board right now?
Yes, there's a lot of different layers because there's the Board of Peace mandate that the United Nations Security Council endorsed. And this is what I wrote about in my article and why President Trump faces a ticking clock. That United Nations Security Council endorsement only lasts until 2027, and the U.S. could make a move to try and extend it. But I believe that if no significant progress has been made, and if many of the countries that have signed on to it don't see significant progress or don't see a reason to support it, that it won't be extended by the Security Council, and it won't have that kind of legal backing. But then you have the other Board of Peace entity that is solely Trump, and he kind of made that alongside the UN Security Council resolution, and this other entity is supposed to kind of tackle conflicts around the globe. And it's kind of a mishmash. And they have separate bank accounts, and some countries are putting money into those bank accounts. They don't really have the oversight of the World Bank. But by and large, there hasn't really been a lot of activity to put money towards anyway. So 9 months since these entities were created, there's little progress, but I don't want to downplay what small progress has been made.
In the meantime, the Palestinians in Gaza are just waiting to see what their future is like, what the rebuild plans are, and what the area, the land might look like 5 years from now.
Yes, and I mean, to say that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place does not fully encapsulate the challenges and the dire humanitarian situation that they're put in. Many Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, if not all, have been squeezed into this area of the territory, which is only maybe about less than 50% of it, maybe around 40% of it. Israel has control of a large portion of the Gaza Strip for security, what they say are security purposes. And over the last few months, they've actually moved that boundary. They've extended the territory that they've controlled to squeeze Hamas further. But this has the impact of making the living conditions for Palestinians in that area even worse. It's very congested. They're living in rubble. Humanitarian aid has not increased to the level that's needed, and no reconstruction is really taking place.
Final question for you, Laura. We had a headline last week that Hamas said they would give up their arms. I was dubious on that proclamation. Have we had any updates on that side of the story?
Not entirely. There's a lot of, since Hamas said that they, apparently agreed to this plan and Israel rejected it, there's lots of conversations happening about what will happen on the Israeli side and what will happen on the Hamas side. There's small signals that there is maybe more willingness on the Israeli side. The Israeli military has decreased the intensity of the attacks that they have, or the military operations that they've carried out in the Gaza Strip. They have carried out near daily military operations in the Gaza Strip against Hamas since the ceasefire took place in November, and now it's kind of teetered off over the last couple of days. So I think that's an important signal of Israel playing ball with the negotiators of the Board of Peace on this plan to disarm Hamas.
Laura Kelly from The Hill. Sorry about that. Great insight. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of moving parts. And meanwhile, Palestinians in Gaza who are not affiliated with Hamas are like, what's going on, man? Where's the rebuild? Where's the money? What's this Board of Peace going to do? What's the 15-point plan? Sabrina's got a plan to give you all the headlines you need to know, news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, we'll go back to D.C., the James Bond-like move to get President Trump on that decoy plane. In-depth coverage next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Summer can be a lot of fun, but summer can also stink. You're outside enjoying the yard, but what is that smell? Hi, I'm Shannon, the owner of Scorpion Septic. That foul odor is the summer heat telling you that your septic system needs Scorpion Septic.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump-out charge with your repair. Details online, scorpionsepticservices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. If you're hurt in a crash, there's only one firm to call, Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Numbers do not lie. Sweet James wins millions of dollars every week for their injured clients. If you're hurt, call Sweet James. Get a free case review and pay nothing until they win. 800-9-MILLION, 800-900-0000, and sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James. At 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James. Your accident attorneys.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 10 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Our top story this hour is new this morning. Millions of Americans, as you know, are turning to the internet to get those GLP-1 weight loss drugs. Well, U.S. News and World Report has just now released its ratings for the first time on the best GLP-1 telehealth platforms.
Our ratings, and this is the first year that we're doing it, basically offer some guidance and clarity in a very crowded and confusing marketplace to help people who are interested in getting a GLP-1 online to do it so safely.
And Gretel Schuler is managing editor of Health at U.S. News and World Report. She says when it comes to best customer satisfaction, Roe came out on top. Found had the best clinical support, and Amazon One ranked best overall for helping with insurance coverage. All right, your weather for today, morning clouds. That'll give way to some afternoon sunshine and a few thunderstorms then later in the afternoon on your ride home this evening, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Your afternoon high right there around 92. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. An investigation is underway this morning after a man is hit and killed on I-75 in Atlanta. Atlanta police saying that preliminary findings show that the victim ran onto the northbound expressway at Howell Mill Road just before 5 this morning. EMS crews pronounced him dead at the scene. 4 vehicles were involved. Investigators are working to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident. The accident temporarily shut down all lanes of I-75 in the area. In Gwinnett County, fire officials are asking for the public's help as they investigate a case of arson in a house fire in Lawrenceville.
Responding crews found heavy flames coming from the home in the 700 block of Camp Perrin Road. As they worked to contain it, they encountered a partial collapse of the structure. Crews also searching the home and found that everyone had gotten out safely. 6 adults are now displaced, getting help from the Red Cross. Investigators determined it was intentionally set. They're now asking anyone with information to reach out to Gwinnett Fire investigators or contact the Georgia Arson Control Hotline, which offers a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to an arrest. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
West Nile virus positive mosquitoes have been found at Old National Park in the city of South Fulton, so all outdoor practices, activities, and programs through at least tonight have been called off. The mayor saying that the cancellation of activities is a precautionary move aimed at keeping residents and park goers safe. The county says that they're going to treat the area, they're doing that now, and that they will reevaluate the activity suspension order after the treatment is done. The president and CEO of Atlanta-based Home Depot is taking a temporary medical leave of absence. The company releasing a statement this morning saying that 2 longtime executives will oversee operations while Ted Decker is away. He is expected to resume his duties within a few months. Now let's talk about your money. Inflation rose slightly from June to July, but numbers out today from the Bureau of Labor Statistics are basically in line with what most analysts had been expecting. The Consumer Price Index shows inflation rose 0.1% for that time period, while it fell a bit over year from 3.5% to 3.4%. Let's take a look at the markets right now. The Dow currently in positive territory, up 31 at 53,823. NASDAQ also up. So is the S&P. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smile and Mark McKay joining us now from the 24-hour traffic center.
All right, Sabrina, rough go of it on the east side perimeter, leaving Clarkston, trying to get into Tucker. I heard DeKalb Fire Rescue rolling to a report of an injury crash on 285 northbound. The outer loop just before Chamblee Tucker Road. So we do see the delays on the jam cam leaving La Vista. And matter of fact, you're in slow traffic now. Memorial Drive trying to clear this crash near I-85. So east side perimeter not in good shape. Still in rough shape is the I-85 southbound drive between Duluth and Norcross. Still pretty heavy from Highway 316 into the Indian Trail Road area. Improving, crash in the shoulder 985 southbound at I-85 in Swanee. And if you're heading into downtown Atlanta, here are the northbound delays. 7585 leaving University Avenue up to Midtown. Southbound slow zone as well. Looks like a new crash 7585 south in front of Georgia State Center Park Stadium. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms today, high 92. Few thunderstorms possible for tonight, lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and an isolated rain shower possible, high 95. Sunshine on Friday, but heating up to the upper 90s.
77 degrees right now in Norcross and Midtown Atlanta. We'll have more news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole gang with us today. Gracie Award-winning Deborah, executive producer of the program. We got B.A. Brooke screening the calls, and, of course, down south, Vinny. Hurt. On the other side of the takeout window. Just a couple of minutes, we're going to the nation's capital. Stephen Portnoy from ABC is going to break down the cloak and dagger move that got President Trump off of Air Force One onto another military aircraft, leaving the NATO summit in Turkey 30 minutes from now. Political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to join us live in studio talking about the primary results. And the biggest I think headline out of yesterday's primaries in 6 states, or what happened in Wisconsin. Joining us live from Wisconsin, news director for 1310 WIBA in Madison, it's Robin Colbert. Robin, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
No problem.
Or is it Colbert?
No. I'm a hard T, unlike cousin Stevie. Is
there
Colbert.
You go. Am I wrong to think that Wisconsinites are waking up stunned?
Absolutely.
Because the polls indicated that the far left candidate, Francesca Hong, was set to win this, but a major comeback from Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley.
Absolutely. And I think those in the political know that saw internal polling in this race, the Crowley campaign, they saw some numbers that were encouraging for them. So those who are, political junkies and really into it, I don't think they're as surprised as just your average Joe or Jane voter who was expecting Francesca to pull this off. Plus also latest poll, very respectable Marquette poll, Francesca, double-digit lead, but there were still quite a few undecideds.
And obviously those undecideds came in and swung the race for Crowley. What I thought was very interesting was Crowley had originally dropped out of the race like a month ago. What prompted him to get back in the race and eventually claim victory?
Well, he dropped out after a poll showed that our Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez, she was very strong. In fact, Francesca was far down the line. Sarah Rodriguez was getting a lot of attention, and people were throwing their endorsements to her, and it was believed that she's going to get this nomination. And then she had just campaign finance turmoil. Her campaign manager screwed up a bunch of her financing. There was a lot of questions raised, and so she just stepped away and got out of the race. And so Crowley, just a few days beforehand, had gotten out and put his endorsement for Sarah. But then he's like, well, wait a minute. Now that the front runner's out, I have a really good shot at this. And he decided, I'm going to get back in. I got to believe that the more moderate Democratic operatives and like Governor Tony Evers played a big role in encouraging him to get back in.
I mean, remarkable, but I guess at this point in 2026, nothing should shock us when it comes to politics and what happens. And for folks listening here in Atlanta that might not recognize the Francesca Hong name, I think she's probably most known nationally for being anti-Thanksgiving, right? That was the big albatross around her neck.
Yeah, absolutely. Anti-Thanksgiving. It turns out she had some bad things to say about Valentine's Day, hates Halloween. So it was just one thing after another, although she did backtrack and now claims that her favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. But there was so much baggage with past Twitter and social media stuff.
All right, so what happens now going to the general election? David Crowley is going to face who, and who is favored to win that race?
Well, Tom Tiffany is a Republican congressman from northern Wisconsin, and he, easy just smoked the other guy in the primary yesterday. In fact, most people didn't know there was a primary. He has President Trump's endorsement, and it's been crickets. He's got a lot of money. He's been running a lot of ads showing him a aw shucks, folksy kind of guy. Wisconsinites tend to like that. Mm-hmm. But now the attention's going to be on him, and some problems from him are going to be he is an election denier and tried to undo the 2020 vote. And so, that doesn't really play so well. Crowley, we'll see here. He's a Milwaukee County executive, was in the state legislature. They know him well in the Milwaukee area. Statewide, though, people aren't really aware of him.
The big national takeaway of this Democratic governor's race was big win for the establishment, big loss for Democratic Socialists, to kind of stem the tide of their rising poll numbers and electoral victories. Is that what you're hearing ground level in Madison, or do the voters in Wisconsin, was that an afterthought, like, oh, I better vote for the establishment candidate as opposed to the Democratic Socialist?
Well, here in Madison, it's hard to get a true feel of Wisconsin voters from all over the state. Madison, a very liberal city. Not everybody goes to the far left, but so a lot of attention for Francesca and a lot of confidence here in the Madison area. But I think just hearing from folks around the state and other Democratic lawmakers from around the state, it was too far. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of Wisconsinites know that's just too far. The holiday thing was just the icing on the cake. I think that really got people to the polls to make sure that Hong would not be on the Democratic ticket in November.
Final question, not politically related, Robin. Here at WSB Radio in Atlanta, it's election night pizza. Every election, every primary, we have pizza. Is it pizza in Madison, or is it cheese curds? What was on the menu last night?
Oh, absolutely, pizza.
Okay, good. Extra cheese.
Ian's Pizza, downtown Madison. That's the only way to go.
Excellent. Robin Colbert, news director, 1310 WIBA in Madison. Robin, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Okay, have a good one.
All right. A good one. I love it. Not cheese curds, huh, Deborah?
There's always cheese curds.
There's always cheese curds.
If you go in the break room, there's some cheese curds.
Can you get them out of a vending machine, the cheese curds?
You go to your local dairy. You don't get them out of a vending machine.
I don't know. Have I been to Wisconsin? No.
Haven't you been to Milwaukee?
No.
Maya went to Milwaukee, right?
Maya did for a conference. I got recruited to play college football at Beloit College.
Oh, that's right on the border to Illinois. Yeah.
So you can imagine me. They wanted me to play football. Like, how bad would that team be?
Not the school of choice for the Wisconsinites. Yeah.
All right. Again, we'll continue our in-depth coverage of the primaries. Stephen Lawson, Political NS, live in studio after the news at 10:30. Right now, continue our team coverage of the Cloak and Dagger Air Force One switcheroo. Joining us from ABC News in the nation's capital, Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, we were covering this crazy story yesterday in depth, but we hadn't heard from the White House either confirming or denying it. 24 hours later, we did get some confirmation.
Confirming it, saying that the military wanted him to go on Secret Service, and the military wanted him to go on a different flight, a different plane. He says they wanted me to do it, so I do it. I do what they say. Confirming this report, unveiling the secret that had been kept for many weeks, that the president was not on the Legacy 747 as it flew out of Turkey, which neighbors Iran, last month as he left the NATO summit, that the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Treasury, Secret Service agents, White House staff, and about a baker's dozen contingent of the press corps were still on what we now know to be a decoy 747 as the president himself slipped out on a catering truck that was pulled around to the military equivalent of a 757 that he flew on with the defense secretary. And It's stunning and remarkable. The fact that it was kept a secret for many weeks is completely out of the norm, which when the president historically has flown in and out of dangerous circumstances, whether it's on 9/11 or into or out of Iraq or Afghanistan, or in the case of Joe Biden, a train into Ukraine and out, there's always been a contingent of press traveling with him to document it for history and to ensure that there's an independent press with the president. So in the event of a crisis, there's some way for the government's claims about his whereabouts and condition to be verified. Because in the absence of that, in our conspiracy-driven world, if the government's going to make a claim and the independent press, which typically travels with him, is not in a position to confirm it, there are tremendous risks to, I believe, faith and confidence in the government and its continuity.
Historically, Stephen, when they have these covert missions when it comes to getting the leader of the free world in and out of a danger zone, as soon as the president is safe, then they release the embargo and say, all right, this is what we did. But that didn't happen out of the NATO summit.
No, in fact, Mark, when reporters at the New York Times started to dig into the potential for a threat against Air Force One, the response was for the Justice Department to send FBI agents to their homes to deliver subpoenas as they tried to identify the leaker. And in the light of day, it seems that was part of an effort to chill leaking and, I believe, further reporting into the story, which we now know involved a much more elaborate effort to hide the president from the press, from potential threat actors, of course, but the idea that it would have to remain a secret and that any reporting of it, even after the fact, could lead to the allegation of national security harm is remarkable. The president now disclosing it, sort of eliminating the idea and debasing the notion that it's a threat to national security by the fact that you and I, Mark, can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, disclosing it only after the Washington Post story. It wasn't like the West Wing was out in front of this story saying, all right, this is what happened a month ago, is in response to the story. And I believe you and I probably talked about it a month ago. We just didn't buy the excuse, oh, the Qatari Air Force One is so cool, we're going to fly to Great Britain so the American troops there can check it out. When the story broke yesterday, Stephen, I heard a lot of folks commenting, go, well, it was only the press, so the press didn't, who cares about the press on the decoy plane? But there were cabinet members on that decoy plane that were in danger as well.
Well, just to be clear, I care about the press on the plane.
Same, absolutely.
Listen, and the reason why I do is because they are civilians who are working there as a function of their assignment to their job. These are not people who enlisted in any kind of service or took an oath, or these are people who are assigned by their employers to report on at certain points of time in certain places, and were never informed that they would be on a plane that could potentially be a target of an Iranian missile. And they were never offered the opportunity to not fly on that plane. I think that's a point that's important to underscore. Once you're in, you're in.
Indeed.
No way off.
Yeah.
But otherwise, to say, just to underscore it, you're right to say that the Treasury Secretary, the Secretary of State, the Secret Service, White House staff, reporters, and other service members were on that plane when somebody had it in mind that it might be dangerous for the president to be on that plane. That doesn't absolve the danger of all the other people, but the president was taken off the plane and flew separately.
Final quick question. I know that the reporting is still scant at this point, but you mentioned the Secretary of State was still on the decoy plane, the Air Force One. Did Marco Rubio know that President Trump wasn't on Air Force One? Did anyone know that he wasn't on the plane?
I'm not in a position to say affirmatively one way or the other. I believe that I've seen a report that indicates that Rubio was aware, but I'm not comfortable enough saying that with certainty. The president obviously was, and the defense secretary knew, and you have to have it in mind that a small number of aides knew. But what's also remarkable is the extent to which this was kept a secret for as long as it was, because once you have senior aides and other people involved, something like this is hard to keep a secret, and it did stay under wraps for about a month.
Indeed. No longer, though. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time.
You bet.
Again, President Trump asked about that Air Force One situation yesterday.
The plane that I flew on was at greater risk, and I think it was at greater risk because that would be the plane I think that they would be more likely to go for. I have a lot of threats. I have a lot of threats that you don't know about. Any consequential president has a lot of threats.
Were you worried about a shoulder-fired missile?
I don't worry about anything, to be honest. Whatever it is, my attitude, whatever.
Whatever, says first. I'll tell you who's not saying whatever, and I don't know this for a fact. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So President Trump, we detailed it yesterday, wasn't a food cart, it was a food truck that took him out.
It made more sense, yes.
Took him to the other plane with Defense Secretary Hegseth. They left Rubio on the target plane. If I'm the Secretary of State, I'm like, bro, what, are you serious? You're choosing Hegseth over me? In the grand scope of things? I would imagine Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, none too happy that he was left on the plane that was being targeted by Iranian assassins. No confirmation on that, but I know if I was Secretary of State and I got stuck on the target plane and Hegseth got to ride with the president on the decoy, I would have been a little mad. 10:19 on the Mark Arum Show. Checking the ride around town. Hello and good morning to Smiling Mark McKay.
Hey, good morning, Mark. East side perimeter between Clarkston and Tucker is struggling. It's a crash on 285 northbound before the Chamblee-Tucker Road exit. Exit 34 keeping you pretty heavy still back toward Memorial Drive. The outer loop is slow. So is I-85 rolling out of Duluth at the Highway 316 interchange. Watching improvement, though, once you get into Norcross. Get into downtown, Midtown, Atlanta, leftover slowing on the connectors southbound. We had a situation around University Avenue. DOT reported a tree had come down 7585 south at exit 244. They've cleared that out. That means the delays have cleared for the most part. Still a little slow leaving Midtown, rolling toward the I-20 interchange. This report sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Prime members get organic black, red, and green seedless grapes for $2.99 a pound through September 1st. While supplies last, shop in-store online. Terms apply. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
You can count on it.
You can try and plan for it.
But sometimes it gets the best of you.
Multiple left lanes blocked, quickly impacting you as you leave the airport.
When it stops you from getting where you need to be.
Atlanta's most trusted traffic team gets you there.
Now we've got our second crash of the morning on I-85.
The most up-to-date traffic reports from Atlanta's most trusted traffic team.
Only your right lane open.
Every time you listen. Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Hey friends, it's Mark Arum here. Do you want peace of mind when it comes to your home's electrical system? That's kind of a big deal. I want you to do what I did and schedule an appointment with Reliable, a company you can trust. An amazing limited time offer. Keep your home safe with a 79-point electrical safety inspection that identifies loose wires, worn breakers, corrosion in your panel, or outdated smoke alarms. Only $49 for real peace of mind. Book an appointment online at reliableair.com or call or text 770-594-9969.
A stunning home calls for stunning exterior craftsmanship. That's why you trust the Plus. Painting Plus. They have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus. Trust the Plus family of businesses for everything on your list.
Painting Plus. The Plus means anything and everything exteriors at the highest quality. Your complete exterior solution.
Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
This is Scott Slade. Thinking about security? Most people stop at a video doorbell so you can watch a package get stolen after it happens. That's not protection. With Loud Security Systems, security means prevention. Add cameras around your home or business, door and window sensors that alert you when someone tries to get in. Monitored fire protection, water leak detection when you sleep or travel. Security is more than a video doorbell. Visit loudsecurity.com because it's time to get loud.
Loud Security Systems. Call 678. Get loud.
Georgia families work hard for their paychecks, and Congressman Mike Collins is there to help us keep more of it. Congressman Collins supported the working families tax cuts, stopping a massive tax increase before it hit household budgets. He voted to end federal taxes on tips and overtime, so servers, nurses, and the working men and women of Georgia keep more money in their pockets. Real relief where it matters most. Learn more about Congressman Collins' legislative work at collins.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
When your termite bond renewal comes in the mail, do you cringe wondering, how much more are they going to charge me now? I want you to switch your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. Hey friends, it's Mark Arum. When was the last time you actually saw your current service inspect your home for termite damage? Let me guess, they just walk around outside and check the bait stations. Well, it's the termites inside that could be eating your home. Feel safe with Breda's early detection process using advanced technology. They'll inspect inside and out, giving you total peace of mind that your home is termite-free. Termites, the most destructive bug of all, but Breda is so confident they guarantee your protection, and only Breda will lock in your termite rate for 10 years. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like termites. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 25% upfront bonus? And are they promising you up to 9% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait, only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They aren't. That's up to $25,000 upfront or up to $9,000 per year on $100,000, guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
10:26 on the Mark Arum Show. On this date, 1964, author Ian Fleming passed away at the age of 56. He is, of course, the creator of James Bond. I believe he wrote the first James Bond book in Jamaica. He lived part of his life in Jamaica. Is there anything better than the Bond theme song? Maybe the breaking news sounder might be better, because we just got breaking sports news. Hold up, wait a minute.
Where is Hector?
According to ESPN, the Los Angeles Lakers, Deborah, being sold to American businessman Josh Kushner and Bob Iger. He was at Disney, right? Iger?
Yep.
For a record-breaking price of $12 billion. $12 billion. That's a lot of money for a sports franchise. Speaking of NBA, a reminder, the New York Knicks are world champions. Just wanted to squeeze that in. Knicks in 5. Where was I the other day? Oh, mine. I went out to dinner. I was wearing my Knicks hat, and just some rando walking by. Knicks in 5. Heard. Don't steal my joy, Vinny. It was one of the greatest moments of my life.
I don't give that a heard.
All right, fair enough. Not heard worthy, says Vinny. Political analyst Stephen Lawson live next, breaking down the primaries. 95.5 WSB.
This kitchen is insane. New counters, new floors. Who did this?
My house.
Your house did your kitchen?
Yep. I used a HomeTap home equity investment to get cash from the equity I already had, with no monthly payments or impact on my mortgage rate.
So your home paid for itself. That's genius.
Huh. I guess I am a genius.
All right. Easy there.
HomeTap lets you turn your home equity into cash with no monthly payments.
It's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
As Ragsdale Heating and Air recently shared on the national news, AC units are really struggling this time of the year. This is Scott Slade. So, Ragsdale's decided to extend their biggest specials of the summer off a new carrier system. And that includes Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. And it's good to know you can trust Ragsdale for all your HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and insulation services, all under one roof. How do I know? Well, I'm one of those over 14,000 five-star reviews, too. Go to RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
You don't need to tell me budgets are tight. Economic uncertainty, global politics, AI taking jobs we used to think were safe. Nobody wants to spend money they don't have to. But you've got to do something nice for your family, don't you? A cookie for the dog, nice dinner for you and your better half. Wouldn't it be nice to do something special for the house you love without breaking the bank just to do it? And Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A new garage door can completely transform the look of your property. For way less than a major renovation or landscaping project, modern designs, whisper quiet, connects with your phone and your fancy new car, a few $1,000s can literally change the appearance of your whole house. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come show you the difference we can make. And that part won't cost you a dime.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Book bags, pens, pencils, crayons, erasers, you got them all for back to school, but what about making sure your roof can protect your kids? Mark Aaron back from my friends at Dr. Roof. Be ready before the storm hits and make sure your kids are protected with the best roof in town. Online at drroof.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Dr. Roof. Let's start with your money. Jim Ryan reporting this morning the gauge on inflation shows prices are continuing to rise, but at a slower pace.
Inflation, as measured by the Consumer Price Index, rose 0.1% from June to July. Compared to last year, prices are 3.4% higher, a slight slowdown from last month. Troubling to economists is that inflation is still pacing ahead of wage growth. In other words, rising prices but stagnant paychecks.
As we take a look at the markets, the Dow is currently up 58 at 53,850. NASDAQ also in positive territory, up more than 0.5%. The S&P is also in the green. Let's talk about your weather now. We'll have a few clouds this morning, but they're going to move on out, and then we'll have some sunshine. And then this afternoon, right in time for the drive home, a few more showers and thunderstorms are possible. Afternoon highs around 92. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. Puerto Rico has entered a state of emergency after suffering through its driest July in over a century. The severe weather has left major drinking reservoirs completely depleted, forcing the government to shut off water to some residential neighborhoods. This one is a community volunteer and says the situation is dire.
We're working with the elderly and working with the community that has small children, and we're trying to get a solution for this now.
The National Guard and federal agencies actively stepping in to distribute bottled water to everyone. Rescue crews continuing to search through piles of debris left by Monday's magnitude 7.4 earthquake in Colombia that has killed more than 250 people. George Solis has more.
Rescuers saving another man from this rubble, what used to be an apartment building. Hordes of volunteers coming here, helping to move some of that debris. Tragically, they say they've also pulled out bodies from this rubble. Thousands, unfortunately, are also still unaccounted for here.
Now, the U.S. says it has allocated more than $15 million for emergency shelter, food, protection, and damage assessments. Well, U.S. News and World Report ranking the best online platforms for those GLP-1 weight loss medications. Getting the popular weight loss drugs is now easier than it's ever been, but there are safety concerns.
These are prescription drugs, and in some cases, you can literally fill out a questionnaire online and without having any interaction with a clinician or doctor, get a prescription approved within hours.
And Gretel Schuller with U.S. News and World Report says for the first time ever, they've rated the online marketplaces that sell the FDA-approved medications. And when it comes to best clinical support, Found came out on top.
With Found, you're actually meeting with a doctor that specializes in obesity medicine. You're also have communication with health coaches and dietitians. You have actual video consults.
And she says Amazon One was ranked best for working with your insurance, and overall best customer satisfaction went to Roe. And there is now a federal hearing scheduled for Friday of this week for the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, fueling speculation that there may be an attempt at a plea deal. Lawyers for Luigi Mangione and prosecutors have not commented on the matter, but legal experts say that the last-minute scheduled conference could mean that they are trying to work out a deal. We, of course, will be watching. Let's take a look at the markets again. The Dow in the green, up 39 at 53,831. NASDAQ and S&P also in positive territory. Let's get a check of those roads. Smiling Mark McKay, how we doing out there this morning?
Not so good on the east side perimeter, Sabrina, but we will see improvement between Clarkston and Tucker. DOT says crash that had multiple lanes knocked out has cleared. All lanes back open on 285 northbound before Chamblee-Tucker Road exit 34. Still seeing delays, though, leaving Memorial Drive. They'll start to improve as you work your way north toward I-85. Speaking of I-85, still a bit slow. 85 southbound out of Duluth into Norcross. The worst of it's going to be around the Highway 316 interchange. Construction back up and running in northern Cobb County, Cherokee County, outbound toward Ackworth. I-75 northbound slow, leaving Wade Green Road. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 92. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and a few thunderstorms will linger overnight into early tomorrow morning. Lows in the mid-70s, then climbing to a high of 95 for tomorrow afternoon. By Friday, daytime highs will climb to the upper 90s.
79 degrees right now in Johns Creek and Mableton. Winder has 80 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
Coming up next, we'll continue our team coverage, primary reaction, and the big Georgia political headlines. Political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio 2 minutes away on the Mark Air Show.
There comes a moment when you look at your aging parents and think, I just want them safe. I want them at home, and I just want them cared for. Maybe your mom wants to stay in the house she lived in for 40 years. Maybe dad just isn't ready to leave his garden, but you know they can't do it alone anymore. It's Belinda Skelton. I recommend Atlanta-based Four Seasons Home Care. They specialize in helping your loved ones age in place in the comfort and dignity of their own homes. With caregivers you can actually trust, every single caregiver is thoroughly background checked and carefully vetted, because Four Seasons knows when someone steps into your parents' home, they're stepping into your family. Don't settle for just anyone when it comes to the people you love most. Do what I did when my parents needed help. Choose trusted, compassionate home care. Choose Four Seasons Home Care. Google and then call Four Seasons Home Care today.
Who doesn't want their plumbing, roofing, HVAC, you name it, job done right for the right price? I'm Dale with TrustDale.com. 2.5 million happy TrustDale customers can't be wrong. Book your next project to get my free $10,000 Make It Right guarantee only at TrustDale.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Hurt in a crash? Call the attorneys at Sweet James, 800-9-million, and sweetjames.com.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Road construction and traffic go hand in hand, and neither is going away. Smiler Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates. The worst part of my job is reporting crashes with injuries. If you get hurt, call the Strong Arm for a strong settlement. JohnFoy.com.
The man that you love to hate, coming out of Washington State.
10:38 on the Mark Arum Show. This is Sir Mix-a-Lot. Not the song I thought Vinny would pick, but he turns 63. Baby Got Back was not available.
I mean,
we couldn't clear the rights to Baby Got Back.
We all know that.
63, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Coming up in 30 minutes, Madison Mills from Axios is going to join us. She is their chief AI reporter. Kim Commando at 11:35. And Deborah, we still have 2 prizes to give away today.
Yeah, tickets to see Blackberry Smoke and then another pair of tickets to see Sugarland.
Coming up twice. 2 chances to win here on the Mark Arum Show. Joining us now live in studio, he is the man. Some call him the Bryce Elder of political analysts. I think he's more of a Chris Sale. Stephen Lawson joining us live in studio. Stephen, did you stay up late last night watching the 6 primary states results come in, or?
I did. I stayed up a little later than normal, but, you know, it's a big night across the country for election results.
Starting Wisconsin, the Democratic governor primary, the headline basically everywhere is like, big win for the establishment, silencing, at least for a second, the Democratic Socialist wing of the party.
Yes, the fever broke a little bit for the socialists last night, but not by much. David Crowley in Wisconsin, who had been polling 10, 15, 20 points behind the socialist Francesca Hong, narrowly beat her by about 3,000 votes. This is somebody who had been endorsed by the Democrat establishment in Wisconsin. He will face Republican Tom Tiffany for that nomination, but definitely a little bit of a blow, a little bit of a setback for this socialist movement that we've seen and talked about growing across the country.
And a sigh of relief from Schumer and, you know, all the establishment Dems in D.C., I would imagine. Like, they kind of stemmed the Democratic Socialist tide for a second. But I tell you what, if the Hong, was that the
yes.
If she hadn't said that Thanksgiving should be canceled, she might have actually won. You can't survive that. You can't survive saying Thanksgiving should be canceled and I hate Halloween, and that's just, sorry, you can't.
I think we've all learned you can say a lot, but saying Thanksgiving should be canceled is kind of a line too far.
And let me go on the record. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Just, I love the, giving thanks, but also the food. So don't ever cancel me in the future. Mark Arum is definitely pro Thanksgiving turkey, mashed potato stuffing.
Seconded.
Cornbread. Another big headline was South Carolina. Senator Graham had the incumbent next to her name on the ballot. She advances to a runoff.
She did, yeah. What a whirlwind South Carolina politics has been over the last few months, Mark. We talked about that race for governor with Pam Yvette, who was the Trump-endorsed candidate, who ended up getting into a runoff but then losing. Here we have Darlene Graham, obviously appointed to fill the seat of her late brother, Lindsey Graham, and she came in first place in this special election with Ralph Norman coming in second place. That race will go to a runoff in just 2 weeks. So quick turnaround, about half the time that we have runoffs here in Georgia. 2 weeks in South Carolina. So a really quick turnaround. It's going to be really interesting to see. You're going to see probably a low turnout election. There's probably some election fatigue in that state. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be really interesting to see, even though she came in first place, there is a track record of runner-ups coming in first place in runoffs.
Rick Jackson? Yeah.
Rick Jackson is one of them.
I know the name Ralph Norman. Why do I know the name, and does he have a chance to win this?
Yeah, sort of an ultra-conservative former rep.
He was former representative.
Yes, in South Carolina. But interestingly, he had endorsed Nikki Haley in the presidential primary. Right, but has not drawn the ire of President Trump. Obviously, President Trump has endorsed Darlene Graham, but that's going to be an interesting dynamic to watch play out. Obviously, Darlene Graham has the endorsement of President Trump, but Nikki Haley she has a large following and is still very beloved in the state of South Carolina.
We talked to White House correspondent John Decker earlier in the broadcast, and he was in South Carolina for that debate, raved about Darlene Graham's performance, President Trump endorsement. I mean, I have nothing against her, don't know her at all. It seems weird, though, that just because she was the sister of Lindsey Graham, she's anointed this seat, and I'm not involved in South Carolina politics, but is there a feeling, whether spoken or unspoken, that like this just isn't the way things should go?
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely that sentiment, certainly when you talk about political appointments and quick turnaround times to run in elections. Yeah. not just for the appointment itself, right? Some people will view that as her being handed the seat, but also for the candidate. They haven't had time to flesh out their policy proposals, get their feet under them. So it's a lot. And I think that is the biggest question facing Darlene Graham over the next 2 weeks. Can she do enough to show that she earns this seat moving forward in the minds of voters? That's the biggest question.
And adding to this was the surprise vacancy, right? No one expected the tragic death of Lindsey Graham. So there weren't people like campaigning for 18 months for this seat, and then they got pushed aside. This all was breaking news, and it just dropped. But I don't. If John Decker said she crushed the debate and has the bona fides, then I believe that. It's just I'm not a politician in South Carolina. They've been waiting for that Graham seat to pop up, and be like, oh, it was my. No, yeah, I don't have a chance. Quick, two more things before we get to Georgia politics. Mike Lindell. We've talked about him, the MyPillow guy. He stepped aside as CEO, lost his primary, but says he is not yet conceded because he said there were voting anomalies. He got crushed anyway. I mean,
who could have predicted this?
That was a headline. And Michelle Tafoya, former sideline reporter in the NFL, she won. Is there a chance that she can win the general?
I think it'll be tough. Obviously, Minnesota is a tougher state for Republicans to win in than Wisconsin on a normal year, especially though this year when there are headwinds facing Republicans nationally. I think that's going to be an uphill climb. But look, she is running against Peggy Flanagan, she has not called herself a socialist, but is very progressive. So I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic. Does that goodwill from the sideline reporting that Michelle Tafoya has done kind of, give her some credibility? It's going to be an interesting race to watch.
Name and face recognition, for sure. And I heard one of her ads already, talking about, I spent decades on the NFL sidelines. I know what it means to be a good leader, like really embracing that. And, ask President Trump, name recognition matters when it comes to elections, for sure. All right, let's come to Georgia. The Rick Jackson campaign, this to me, I'm not as deep an analyst as you, but his new plan seems to be, I would think that not a bad idea what the Rick Jackson campaign just announced.
Yeah, absolutely. Rick Jackson unveiled this morning really a plan to support and bolster minority-owned businesses and really disadvantaged corridors, not just in Atlanta, but across the state. He made this announcement at Sweet Auburn, really talking about the history of that corridor, right, in terms of banks and businesses and Black-owned businesses, and really wanting to revitalize those areas. And really what his plan incorporates putting a leader, an economic development leader there to facilitate work between the state and those business corridors. So somebody that can help small business owners navigate for grants, work with the state opportunity zones, things like that. And then also revitalizing and breathing fresh life into some of these historic buildings. I think it's a really cool plan. I think Rick Jackson clearly, as we've talked about, Mark, is focusing and putting an emphasis on minority-owned businesses across the state. I think that's really good. And I think for Atlanta, we've seen so much progress and optimism around downtown and revitalizing downtown. When we talk about South Downtown, we talk about 5 Points, when we talk about Centennial Yards, there's a real opportunity here, I think. And when Atlanta grows and is lifted up, so does our state. And so I think it's a really cool plan.
Jackson campaign is certainly trying to widen the tent too, not just going after voters that they know they're going to get, but voters that might have questions about his opponent. A couple of things that popped from the AJC today about gubernatorial candidate Rick Jackson asked whether he is going to campaign with his Senate running colleague on the Republican side. Do you think we'll see joint Collins-Jackson events?
Yeah, I think you're going to see some crisscrossing. They were at an event over the weekend, I believe at a rally. They got a picture together. So I think they are out and about on the trail. But I think it's also really important to note they're running very different races, right? Mike Collins and John Ossoff, that is a federal race. There's just a whole different set of issues, and Rick Jackson is really focusing on a state level race. So I think you're going to see some crisscrossing. I don't know if they're going to be doing tons of joint events together. But I'm not sure that matters. I think they're talking to about different policies, different platforms.
Well,
and they're
it's
just
different
totally
campaign speeches. You're right, for a federal race as opposed to a state race. One more Greg Bluestein bomb this morning, reporting that President Trump trying to broker a truce between Rick Jackson and Burt Jones after that rough GOP primary.
Yeah, interesting. This is still ongoing. I think that this is we've clearly talked about that was a very knockdown, drag out primary, unlike anything we've ever seen. But I think if you look at the data, a lot of there is unity on the Republican side. I think there's still some hurt feelings, probably from Burt Jones. And, I expect that to be resolved. But at the end of the day, I think, most Republicans are united, as are Democrats. I think you've seen that on their side. They're fully united around their candidates. And at the end of the day, these voters, as we've talked about, Mark, they come home, they put their jerseys on, and really it's a fight to the middle and talking to those swing voters.
Enthusiasm, turnout, independence, all the big keywords as we're going up to that crucial midterm election this November. A reminder, 95.5 WSB, your official election station. I hope I got the verbiage right. I do know it's Dentons.com. Dentons.com for all things Stephen Lawson. Great to see you, my friend.
Always a pleasure.
And I promise I'll get those things, price those things for you, and enjoy your Vinny Drip Herd t-shirt.
I love it.
There you go.
Wearing it tonight.
Feel free to post it on Instagram. 10:49 on the Mark Arum Show. Back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. And Smile and Mark McKay.
Extra time needed out of Douglasville through Lithia Springs, Six Flags Mark, due to a crash. I-20 eastbound just before Fulton Industrial Boulevard. The delays begin past Thornton Road. You can always use Highway 78. West Side Perimeter slowing into the work zone, 285 south of South Cobb Drive, and you'll be on and off the brakes down to I-20. Right lane construction in Kennesaw has you slow. I-75 northbound, leaving 575. They're doing their work just north of Kennesaw State University. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
The Eric Von Hessler Show covers every topic: politics, news, health.
He just looked at me and mouthed, "You're getting fat."
And when they talk about health,
I quit smoking 40 days ago.
It's serious business.
You're still out there smoking the menthol, my friend.
Health is no laughing matter to Eric Von Hessler.
I just noticed.
It's no laughing matter. Eric Von Hessler, today at 3, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Selling your old car on your own can be a nightmare. Shelley Winter here. I know you don't want to deal with placing ads, prepping the vehicle, meeting potential buyers, and negotiating. Save yourself a lot of time and stress by simply donating your vehicle to Cars for Kids. It's so easy, and you'll get a tax receipt for your charitable donation, a vacation voucher, and painless removal of your car. Go to carsforkids.org today. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
What's your car worth? Find out now at JimEllisBuysCars.com, the safe and easy way to sell your car. Plus, Jim Ellis will beat any CarMax purchase offer by $500. Sell your car today, fast, easy, fair. For complete details, visit JimEllisBuysCars.com.
You've probably gotten really good at working around your non-stop joint pain. That's what multitasking women like you do, right? When your knees and hips scream, you shift your weight when you're standing too long, skip workouts on really bad days when your shoulder's stiff, and there's no way you're kneeling down. You might not get back up. Hey, it's Mark Arum. Maybe your doctor's told you it's pain from arthritis. You're going to need surgery. Before you make that decision, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics, because there's no undo button from surgery, especially a replacement. QC Kinetics works with busy women like you to keep you going while the regenerative treatments go to work, relieving that joint pain. No scalpel and long recovery, just your body's natural healing process that may help some patients totally avoid surgery. That's exactly why women like you have turned to QC Kinetics here in Atlanta, so they continue to get better when life goes on. The consultation, conversation free. Call now, 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Now through Sunday, bring relaxation home from Georgia Spa Company for less during the Red Tag sales event. Do what I did. Start slipping into the hot tub at night if the kids have gone to bed, or do it in the morning. Take a cold plunge and wake you up, but get into a wellness and relaxation routine. They've got hot tubs, they've got saunas, they've got cold plunges, they've got swim spas, and now is the Red Tag sales event. Check them out, georgiaspacompany.com. Prioritize your wellness and relaxation. georgiaspacompany.com.
Retiring sooner starts with a simple roadmap I call the Retire Sooner Method. Step 1, get into the money green zones. Step 2, build 5 or more hobbies on steroids and spend nearly 20 hours a week on them. Step 3, nurture 4 or more close friends. Step 4, create a written financial plan and life map. Step 5, protect your superpower, quality sleep. Get the Retire Sooner Method, my new green book, now on Amazon.
You won't believe this. Finley Roofing, the roof guys, are offering new roofs, windows, and doors starting as low as just $139 a month. That's less than one trip to the grocery store. Ashley Frasca for Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Think you can't afford a new roof, windows, and doors? You can. Finley makes it affordable with 0% financing and payments starting at just $139 a month. Go to finleyroofing.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Great stuff there with political analyst Stephen Lawson. We're going to lean on him heavily throughout the political season as we go to those big November elections. 11:55 on the Mark Arum Show. We've been talking about all the vegetable recalls. I don't want to play favorites when it comes to fruits and veggies and proteins. We have a beef recall, Deborah. This could impact a lot of folks.
Beef might not be for dinner. So the USDA has issued a recall for just under 30,000 pounds of raw beef. This was all imported from a farm in Argentina. And basically they're saying that it did not get the right inspection from the USDA. There hasn't been any issues with the beef that people have bought, but the USDA is just saying it didn't pass the inspection. We can't give it our stamp of approval. So just in case, if you bought any of it, we're recalling it.
Just in cases.
Yeah.
All right. I texted our produce dude, Bobby Marbles. No update on anything of the Taylor Farms recall or the jalapenos. One is, now that I'm talking of food, sad news for some Wendy's locations. Wendy's, I've been there forever. That's my bad. Some Wendy's are dropping their breakfasts. Wendy's
I didn't even know they had breakfast.
They have an underrated breakfast. It hasn't caught fire, and I think I know the reason why. The bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll at Wendy's is a fantastic sandwich. The problem is, when you go to McDonald's, Vinny, you get an Egg McMuffin or a biscuit. What's the side with
hash browns?
Hash browns. You go to Chick-fil-A, you get a chicken biscuit. What's the side?
Hash browns.
Wendy's, they didn't offer hash browns.
Yeah,
they offered seasoned potato wedges.
It's all potato.
But it's not a hash brown.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I mean, they're good, they're tasty, but it's like serving a lunch potato or a dinner potato.
It's still a potato.
But it's not a hash brown. That's where I think they messed up. If Wendy's, if you're listening, don't give up on breakfast. Your bacon, egg, and cheese is an elite sandwich. You got to slide some hash browns into the equation, brah. We don't want seasoned potato wedges for breakfast.
Bowl rounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Free advice to my friends at Wendy's. News, weather, and traffic when we come back. All things AI. Senior AI reporter Madison Mills from Axios going to join us. And Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Blackberry Smoke straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The following is a paid commercial announcement. Gas prices are surging because of the war in Iran, but Congressman Mike Collins won't do anything about it. Why? Because Mike Collins refuses to disagree with Donald Trump on anything. Here's Mike Collins in a recent interview.
Is there anything that you disagree with President Trump on?
I'll tell you this. I disagree. I don't see how he gets by with 3 hours sleep.
That's right. Mike Collins is always with Donald Trump, no matter how much it costs Georgians. Listen to Mike Collins again.
I fully support President Trump and what he is doing with Iran.
Mike Collins supports Trump's war even though it's cost taxpayers over $100 billion and has sent gas prices soaring because Collins is always with Trump.
Is there anything that you disagree with President Trump on?
I'll tell you this. I disagree. I don't see how he gets by with 3 hours sleep.
Call 202-225-4101. Tell Mike Collins to stop supporting Trump's war. Paid for by Defend the Vote Action Fund.
Hey friends, what if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years guaranteed? Thanks to Xfinity, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. It's Mark Aaron back with you. Now through August 24th, get their best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi, and you're guaranteed 5 years of super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats and finds and fixes issues before you even notice them. No annual contracts or commitments, no hidden fees, and the best equipment is included. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Let's start with your money. Inflation rose slightly from June to July, but numbers out today from the Bureau of Labor Statistics basically in line with what most analysts had been expecting. The Consumer Price Index showing inflation rose 0.1% for that time period. Elizabeth Schulze digs deeper into those numbers this morning.
When you kind of dig into the details here, there are still a big impact from higher oil prices showing up with the price of gas, which is up more than 20% over the past year. You see it trickling into airfares, also up more than 20%. You do see those kind of ripple effects of higher oil prices to transportation services.
All right, let's take a look at the market, see how your investments are working. The Dow's in negative territory, down 22 at 53,769. NASDAQ is up more than 0.5%. The S&P is also in the green this morning. Your weather for today, afternoon sunshine. A few thunderstorms are possible for your ride home this afternoon and evening. Highs around 92. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. West Nile virus positive mosquitoes have been found at Old National Park in the city of South Fulton, so all outdoor practices, activities, and programs through at least tonight have been called off. The mayor saying that the cancellation of activities is a precautionary measure aimed at keeping residents and parkgoers safe. The county says that they're going to treat the area and then they'll reevaluate the activity suspension order after the treatment happens. Investigations underway after a man is hit and killed on I-75 in Atlanta. Atlanta police saying preliminary findings suggest that the victim ran into the northbound expressway at Howell Mill Road just before 5 this morning. EMS crews pronounced him dead at the scene. 4 vehicles involved in the collision. Investigators are working to determine the circumstances surrounding this incident. The accident temporarily shutting down all lanes of I-75 in the area this morning. ICE agents getting a high-tech, high-energy tool to take people into custody.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement plans to spend $20 million on thousands of pairs of electric gloves capable of delivering painful shocks. The Kentucky company that makes the gloves says they offer a humane, low-optics de-escalation solution for many situations facing officers in the field. They say their gloves leave no burns, marks, or scars. The DHS contract says the electric gloves could be distributed as soon as next March. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Well, more and more people are taking weight loss medications, and for the first time ever, U.S. News & World Report rates online platforms that offer the FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss drugs. For overall customer satisfaction, Roe came out on top.
So Amazon One Medical
won for best insurance support. Insurance coverage for GLPs can be pretty complicated, and so Amazon One Medical scored really highly for its insurance concierge services.
Gretel Schuler, managing editor of Health at U.S. News & World Report, tells me that Found was ranked best for clinical support. A temporary change at the top for one of Atlanta's best-known companies.
Ted Decker, CEO of Home Depot, is taking a medical leave of absence. 2 other top execs will fill in while he's out, one to oversee day-to-day operations, the other managing the chain's finances and professional contractors business. Now, no reason was given. The company said Decker is expected to return in the next few months. Because of the uneven housing market, shares of Home Depot this year only up about 3% so far. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby for 95.5 WSB.
All right, let's get a check of those roads now. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. I've been watching a slow go of it inbound on the West Freeway, 20 eastbound out of Lithia Springs from Thornton Road. Over there where there had been a crash in 2 right lanes past Riverside Parkway. If you're traveling 75 north up into Kennesaw, it's another slow go of it this morning with delays starting right around 575. Got that right lane construction active again north of Wade Green Road. And on the 85 southbound ride out of Duluth into Norcross, some scattered brake lights left over from the morning commute from Highway 316 passing Jimmy Carter Boulevard. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms today, high 92. Few thunderstorms possible for tonight, lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and an isolated rain shower possible, high 95. Sunshine on Friday, but heating up to the upper 90s.
81 degrees right now in Brookhaven, 82 in Fairburn. Alpharetta, you have 80 degrees. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I'll run this town to be near you.
11:05 on a fairly busy news day Wednesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Kim Commando is going to join us live. And in 30 minutes, Deborah's got a pair of tickets to give away to, say, Sugarland. But we do have a pair of tickets to give away right now, Deborah.
Right now, it's tickets to see Blackberry Smoke at the Tabernacle on November 27th.
All right, B.A. Brooke. Do we all know what B.A. stands for?
Bad.
Yeah. Like B.A. Baracus from the A-Team. B.A. Brooke, let's do the 8th caller to 404-872-0750. Caller number 8 to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Blackberry Smoke at the Tabby, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB. All right, we are scheduled to be joined right now by senior AI reporter for Axios, Madison Mills, but Madison's stuck in a tunnel somewhere on a subway.
She says she's in a subway and she doesn't have really good reception.
That's
so
cool.
She didn't. She's like, if I get out of it, she'll give us a call.
I've been there. If not, we'll circle back and talk all things AI with Madison Mills maybe tomorrow. It does give me a chance to update a couple of stories related, I think, to the Iran war and that James Bond-like maneuver, the cloak and dagger maneuver to get President Trump off of that Air Force One leaving the NATO summit in Turkey. Apparently, there has been an issue by the State Department about reducing staffs at American embassies around the country. Jennifer Hansler from CNN at the State Department this morning.
According to my sources, the State Department has asked embassies that are already on what's called ordered departure, meaning only emergency personnel remained on the ground, to come up with plans for what's called restricted operations, which is that continued smaller footprint of personnel that are on the ground in each country. And now all this comes at the same time as the State Department has increasingly allowed diplomats who were displaced from the Middle East to do what's called a curtailment, which is ending their assignments a little early. Taken together, this does indicate that the State Department does not believe that it is likely to be able to return to its full normal staffing at a number of these embassies anytime in the near future. Under State Department rules, they are required after 6 months to move from ordered departure to either restricted operations or back to normal functioning. Now, these plans have not been finalized yet, the sources said, but once they are, they may add a little bit of clarity to what has been nearly 6 months of uncertainty for diplomats and their family members. Ahead of the start of the war against Iran in late February, the State Department had not moved most of its embassies at all in terms of their staffing or presence there. However, within weeks, as these embassies came under attack by Iran, they moved into what's called ordered departure for places like Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates, meaning that family members and non-emergency personnel had to leave the region and return to the United States. But that's caused a lot of uncertainty because they didn't know when they would be coming back, meaning in terms of housing, schooling, things like this. They didn't know if they could make long-term commitments. And a number of them have now decided to just make those decisions now to stay. With the school year coming up, they have to make these choices. As one diplomatic spouse told me, quote, "We've had evacuations in various parts of the world, but this is different in that there's such a large portion of people from one part of the world with so many people coming back to one spot. We had no idea when we walked out of our house in March that we not only wouldn't be returning in 6 months, but now the reality is we won't be returning at all." Now, the State Department said they do not comment on specific contingency plans, but they said security of their personnel is paramount.
Yeah, Jennifer Hansler at the State Department this morning. That's just the state of the world right now. And obviously, if you're a diplomat overseas in a hot zone, it's understandable. Every time I say the word diplomat, a reminder that one of the greatest television shows of all time is available to stream. Was it 3 seasons, Deborah, The Diplomat?
3 seasons.
So good.
Oh,
so
good.
Very good. And a 4th season is coming. Let me save you time. So you know how much I love the CIA shows.
Yeah.
So on Netflix, it was like Chief of Station, which is a CIA movie. I was like, tailor-made for me. Chief of Station.
Okay.
CIA drama. Oh, it was a bad movie. It was just...
Is it not a CIA drama?
It is, but it's a poorly made one.
Okay.
And it's like there's some notable actors, like the main character you'll recognize. And I was like, 7 minutes in, I was like, this is not going to be good. But I stuck through the whole 90 minutes or whatever. Do not watch Chief of Station.
Finish watching Whitechapel?
Did I finish what? Not the next season. I watched the first season.
Okay.
But, Chief of Station, cross it off your list. Like, it's the perfect name of a show for me, Chief of Station. But it was garbage. Quick update: mosquito attractions. So I grew up in a mostly Italian town, and all of my Italian friends got way more mosquito bites than I did. It was just like mosquitoes love Italians' blood. Well, actually, that was in the 80s where we were just making things up. There was no Google to see if that was true. But apparently mosquitoes are attracted to certain types of people. Are Italians more likely to get stung by mosquitoes or bit by mosquitoes than a portly Jewish kid?
Not necessarily, at least not according to this study here. But, I'm a mosquito magnet. Like, I can go with friends. They won't get bites. I'll have them all
You have
over
the
my
Latin
arms.
blood.
Some people will say it's Latin blood.
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, you have O blood. Like if you type O or type positive, then... But then all this study is done. It's like, no, it's actually just whatever the oils and the bacteria that's on your skin naturally. That is what actually attracts mosquitoes. And there's different types of mosquitoes that are all attracted to different things. So your Italian friends might have been bit by one mosquito.
Oh, they were wearing a cologne, like Dracar
Jacquard.
Noir.
Yes,
Yeah.
they love the Jacquard. Yeah, I don't wear that. Why do I get bit?
So there's not certain races.
So unfortunately,
or
it can't. It's not as
ethnicities.
simple. It's not as simple as they just love
Yeah.
Latin blood.
But I mean, it was just
I feel it. I'm the same way. I
a
get
small sample
bit.
size. If we were in the backyard playing wiffle ball or football, and it was my 4 Italian friends and me and my Korean friend, the Italian guys were like,
getting bit, eaten alive.
It was.
Yeah.
I also heard it was the color of your.
No, they are
clothing.
attracted to certain colors, but that still isn't what makes them bite you. It's like it's their skin, and they can smell, and that's what makes them bite you.
Soba. They go after Soba.
Really?
Like
Poor little Soba.
I know. She will do this little head jerk like
I
there's
know
a
what you're
mosquito
talking
on her
about, yeah.
back. One quick dog story. Dogs can tell what mood you're in. So if you've had a bad day, you come home and you're just angry, you're mad at the world, your dog knows that things are unwell with you.
You've done that before, right? Like, I mean, I for sure had just a really bad day, wasn't feeling well, just, didn't want to do anything. And Chester will come up and just put his head on your knee or something like that, and he just knows like, okay, I'm here for you, gives you that look. And so they're basically saying, dogs don't necessarily tell that you're angry or happy, or they can't really read your emotion, but they know that there's something there, and they can tell it's different from your regular emotions. And maybe that's why, obviously, sometimes they wag their tails out of excitement, or sometimes they kind of slouch down if you're sad. So they know there's a difference in emotion. They just don't necessarily understand what it is.
I can come in any mood, and Soba reacts the same. She's just shouty, barking, rah, 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 rah. Walter doesn't even get up when I come home.
Does he do the head nod at least? Like, hey.
No, like I'll open the door. Soba's at the door, like already scratching, barking, and then Walter's just chilling on his bed in the sunroom, and he's like, "What's going on, bro?" Then he gets up, and then we.
Does he get up for Maya?
No.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. It's the only time he'll get up is if someone walks in the house, he's not bothered. But if Amazon comes and
the door,
then he's gone, and he's got a vicious bark. But all right, so dogs can tell your mood, and they're just the greatest things of all time. Thank you, Lord, for inventing dogs. That was your best invention of all time. I'm assuming dogs are going to be used, rescue dogs, in that Colombian earthquake. In Colombia, rescue efforts enter a third day following that massive 7.4 magnitude earthquake, 7.4, with the community saying they're not willing to give up on their search for survivors just yet. ABC's Faith Abube is in Cali, Colombia, with the latest.
Emergency crews working around the clock in a race against time to find survivors. A woman pulled from the rubble after being trapped for 36 hours under a collapsed building. People here clinging onto these moments of hope, as officials say thousands of people are still missing, including 239 believed to be trapped beneath the rubble in hard-hit Cali.
Now, I wasn't aware. I mean, obviously, this is secondary to the loss of life and the people that are hurt and the people that are missing. But I didn't know that was the coffee region of Colombia.
I read that too. Yeah,
that was
heavy
impacted.
coffee region.
Yeah. So obviously, we'll continue to monitor that. How can you help the folks there? We talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to click here. I just found a thing on where you can help, but I'm scared to click on a work
You can always
computer.
go Red Cross. It's one of the
is-
biggest to help out.
But that's just, I can't believe it's that Ring of Fire. But you always think of the Pacific Rim with
That's
the
what
Ring
I
of
think
Fire,
of, the Pacific
not
Rim, yeah.
the South American
is-
coastline.
yeah.
It's this first Venezuela, now Colombia, with Peru in between. This is if you're listening to the show and you are currently on disability. I know that's a big thing, where if you get injured or you can't work, there's a safety net for folks for disability. I believe I still have disability insurance through the company.
I know I do.
Where,
it's elective. You can pick it when you do your
that was one of the things
yearly updates.
Clark
or whatever.
Howard was like, click on that. So I forget what it was, but I think if I get injured and I'm unable to do my job, I get like 75% of my salary.
Something like that.
There are 14 new health conditions that have just been added to the disability qualifier. So these were 14 conditions that weren't originally covered by disability, but now are. What are the 14, Deborah?
So there are a lot of them that I don't think we'll really know, like iCardi syndrome. I don't exactly know what that is.
iCarly?
iCarly, yes.
iCarly syndrome, okay.
Barrett-Winter syndrome, Bear-Stevenson syndrome, Boris-Opit syndrome, stuff like that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things on here that I'm not exactly sure what they are. It's nothing.
Are there any recognizable to the layman?
Let's see. Warbug microsyndrome. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Partial seizures of infancy. So that one kind of makes sense to all of us, right?
Yeah.
T-cell lymphoma. There's that.
Okay.
Lafora disease, primary cardiac sarcomas. And all of this has been added now to disability.
iCarly and Berenstein Bear.
Yes.
They're the only ones
Yes.
that I recognized. That's tough, though. I have a friend from high school that shortly after he entered the workforce, he got into it was like a factory incident and suffered severe brain damage. He got like hit in the head by something, and he's been on disability his whole adult life. This happened when he was like he's 22 years old, and without that, he would be done. But so, all right, if you have a question, just Google 14 health conditions added to disability, because I didn't recognize any of them.
None.
Claudia in Buford. Claudio. Anyway, the C word in Buford. Just won a pair of tickets to see Blackberry Smoke, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB. Your next chance to win Sugarland tickets coming up at 11:37 on the Mark Arum Show. 11:17, checking the ride around town. Hello and good morning to the one and only Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Still watching a crowd through this crash zone on the West Freeway, 20 eastbound. Crash been impacting the right lanes past Riverside Parkway. That's why you're slow right around Thornton Road. 75 north up into Kennesaw. That's a jam-packed ride as well from 575. That's due to right lane construction up at Wade Green Road, exit 273. Traffic brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. Out from the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
Heads up crash involving several vehicles.
Depend on us
To make sure you get where you need to be on
Alternates
time.
needed this morning between Buford and Swanee.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a
Some
week.
of the alternates to get you around this include Memorial Drive in East Ponce.
WSB Triple Team
A car
Traffic.
has flipped over 20 westbound.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
You finally got that dream home. Then a pipe burst. Now you're draining your savings to drain the basement, and your other bills keep flooding in. But with HomeTap, you could tap into your home equity to cover renovations, debt, or whatever comes next. And unlike other home equity products, a HomeTap home equity investment has no monthly payments or impact on your mortgage rate. So consider using what you've already built. After all, it's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
Yellow buses cruising through the neighborhood, reminding you that it's back to school time. Hey, friends, it's Mark Arum from my pals at Dr. Roof. A great reminder as well to make sure your roof protects the little ones. Be ready before the storm hits with my friends at Dr. Roof. Price match guarantee, up to a 50-year workmanship warranty, and save a ton of money with coupons available at drroof.com. Be ready before the storm hits and make sure your kids are protected. drroof.com.
When it comes to public safety, Georgia has a voice in Washington. Congressman Mike Collins. Collins wrote the Laken-Riley Act, signed into law by President Trump, requiring federal detention of illegal immigrants charged with serious crimes. Collins wrote the Trank Act, signed into law by President Biden, cracking down on fentanyl-laced tranquilizers. 2 laws, 2 presidents, 1 priority: protecting Georgia families. Learn more. Visit collins.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Coolray is celebrating 60 years of bringing home comfort to Atlanta, and they're making this month unforgettable. Right now, you can upgrade your home comfort with a new Carrier cooling system starting at just $60 a month. The Georgia heat is here, and if your AC struggled last summer or you're worried about rising repair costs, now is the time to replace. For 60 years, Atlanta homeowners have trusted Coolray to keep their homes comfortable. To set an appointment today, simply go to Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Attention, Georgia homeowners. Can I give you some terrible financial advice? Wait until your windows rot. Wait until your windows leak. Wait until your energy bill climbs another 30 to 40%. Wait until they're twice as expensive to replace. Or you could find out where you actually stand today. Hey, I'm Ray, founder of Window Comfort. When we come out, we'll inspect every window in your home. We'll tell you which ones are perfectly fine, which windows need attention, and exactly what replacing them would cost. It's a no pressure, no obligation estimate, and by the way, it's good for a whole year. So don't delay. Go to windowcomfort.com and get your free no-pressure estimate today. And if you do that now, we're going to give you buy 2 windows, get 2 free plus free installation. That's windowcomfort.com.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
11:22 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming back to some Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, and the Biscuits for Free. Mark Knopfler, guitarist, lead singer of Dire Straits, turned 77 years old. Our rock stars are senior citizens. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Picked up some breaking news during the commercial break. This is big, Deborah.
Where is Hector?
Piccadilly text line, Bobby Marbles, our produce expert. Bobby has discontinued using Taylor Farms.
Wow.
Yes, the produce mafia has switched to a new grower. That's big. Bobby's one of the biggest distributors on the East Coast, and he is done with Taylor Farms.
Wow, too many recalls.
That's insider info. Go ahead and sell long or trade
Pork
short
bellies,
or frozen or
Orange
whatever. But wow, if Bobby Marbles is done with Taylor Farms, that's bad news for Taylor Farms.
Get different avocados now.
Bobby Marbles can move the markets. All right, thank you for that update. The breaking news there from Bobby Marbles. This is sad. We have some beautiful attractions here in the state of Georgia. This one turned deadly, and it was all because, was it in Georgia or not in Georgia?
This is not in Georgia.
Not
this
in
is
Georgia.
Oregon. Yeah.
We have beautiful waterfalls here in Georgia, and people take pictures. It's Amicaloa Falls, etc. This is in Oregon, and apparently someone was taking a picture for the gram, and what happened?
Yeah, you got to get just that right shot with the light and the filter and everything. This is Silver Falls State Park in Oregon, and somebody was out there, just snapping the pictures for the gram of this pretty waterfall, but trying to get the right angle with the phone and the selfie. Unfortunately, they slipped and ended up dying after the fall, just trying to get the right picture here. Yeah, really sad.
I guess if you're gonna die in a place, you want it to be a beautiful place like a waterfall. I'm trying to find a silver lining to this story. Best selfie taker is Smiling Mark McKay.
Oh, for sure.
Worst selfie taker is Shelley Winter. He takes we call him out like, Shelley, you're taking a bad angle, bro.
With his hand.
Yeah, he's so, I love him like a brother, but he takes the worst selfies. Smiling's got it down. Smiling will come in, hey, selfie time, boom, and it's
like 900 people in the photo too. Yeah.
It's like going to a doctor that gives you a shot and it's done before you even know it. That's Smiling.
Yeah.
He's like a selfie ninja. And then Shelley's like,
wait,
yeah.
and he turns the camera the wrong way.
It's really bad. Quick update. I asked earlier on the tractor trailer drivers that listen to the show about way stations. Tim slid into my DM, said they're always happy when the way station is closed. I thought so. But you're right. In my mind, I'm like, oh, way station, I can go to the bathroom. But just go down to Buc-ee's, the Flying J, whatever. Loves. I love road trips, and part of it
Truck
is because,
stops.
yeah, lot lizards, loves. I don't know. Anyway, our news, was that a bridge too far? What percentage of the listeners know what a lot lizard is?
72.
72%. Vinny, you know what a lot lizard is?
No, I don't. No.
Brooke, B.A. Brooke, do you know what a lot lizard is? Yes, no, maybe? She shrugged. I think that's a high number. I think that's a high number. All right, news, weather, and traffic at 4. When we come back, Kim Commando's going to join us live, talking about the heavens and earth and AI and all things in between. And Deborah's got a pair of tickets to give away to see Sugarland. The Vinny Drip shirt is out and available right now. If you want to see what it looks like, check out my Instagram story at Mark Arum, MarkArum.
Scott Slade here with the president of Loud Security Systems, John Loud. John, when it comes to protecting your business and employees, compromise isn't an option.
Exactly, Scott. At Loud Security, we provide extensive commercial security systems so you can be sure your assets, employees, and property are under constant vigilant protection.
And you cover it all. 24/7 intrusion detection, live video monitoring with virtual guard response, even smart access control.
Plus, fully managed life safety systems, fire alarm, and fire suppression systems, including fire extinguishers and sprinkler inspections.
With customizable solutions, real-time alerts, and your team blending today's technology with old-fashioned service, business owners can stay focused on what they do best.
That's the Loud Security Systems promise. Business security monitoring you can trust.
So trust the local experts at Loud Security. Call today, mention me, Scott, and get 3 months free monitoring when you get Loud.
Loud Security Systems. Call 678. Get Loud.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Listen up, fellas. You've been dealing with that receding hairline, the bald spot, the thinning hair. It's time to check out my pals at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you for a couple of reasons why I suggest Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair stands by the results. Their before and after pictures, second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians and modern technology. It's the most unbelievable experience in the business. And finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, easy, and they got you covered. Bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning hair. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that savings opportunity, it's here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 470-660-HAIR.
You got this. Come on. Come on, a little bit more.
Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center, using advanced treatments to relieve pain and get you back to living life without limits. Learn more at emoryhealthcare.org/ortho.
Palmetto bugs, water bugs, smoky browns, they're all roaches and you want them gone.
Mark Arum with Matt Breda for Breda Pest Management.
A truly healthy home needs protection inside and out. Most roaches do enter from the outside, but once they're in, they nest, thrive, and multiply. Our precise protection targets roaches at the source.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Rocco's European Garage, your dealership alternative. And Gwinnett County fire officials asking for the public's help as they investigate a case of arson at a home in Lawrenceville.
Responding crews found heavy flames coming from the home in the 700 block of Camp Perrin Road. As they worked to contain it, they encountered a partial collapse of the structure. Crews also searching the home and found that everyone had gotten out safely. 6 adults are now displaced, getting help from the Red Cross. Investigators determined it was intentionally set. They're now asking anyone with information to reach out to Gwinnett Fire investigators or contact the Georgia Arson Control Hotline, which offers a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to an arrest. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, your weather for today. Afternoon sunshine. A few thunderstorms possible on the ride home this afternoon and evening. Highs around 92. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast that's coming your way in just over 2 minutes. Puerto Rico has entered a state of emergency after suffering through its driest July in over a century. The severe weather has left major drinking reservoirs completely depleted, forcing the government to shut off water to residential neighborhoods. This woman is a community volunteer. She says the situation is dire.
We're working with the elderly and working with the community that has small children, and we're trying to get a solution for this now.
The National Guard and federal agencies actively stepping in to distribute bottled water. The World Health Organization now saying that the Congo's Ebola outbreak is on track to eclipse the deadliest one in history that killed over 11,000 people. The death toll from the latest Ebola outbreak surpassing 2,000. Dense populations and limited access can complicate efforts to deliver medical care, to track contact, and establish quarantine protocols. Infectious disease experts say Americans should remain aware of the humanitarian crisis overseas. U.S. News & World Report ranking the best online platforms for those GLP-1 weight loss drugs. Getting the popular weight loss medications now easier than ever, but there are some safety concerns.
These are prescription drugs, and in some cases, you can literally fill out a questionnaire online and without having any interaction with a clinician or doctor, get a prescription approved within hours.
Gretel Schuler with the U.S. News & World Report says for the first time ever that they've rated those online marketplaces that sell the FDA-approved medications. And when it comes to best clinical support, Found, she says, came out on top.
With Found, you're actually meeting with a doctor that specializes in obesity medicine. You're also have communication with health coaches and dietitians. You have actual video consults.
Amazon One, she says, is ranked best for working with your insurance company, and overall best customer satisfaction went to Row. And now about your money. Inflation rose slightly from June to July, but numbers out today from the Bureau of Labor Statistics are basically in line with what most analysts had been expecting. The Consumer Price Index showing inflation rose 0.1% from that time period, while it fell a little bit year over year from 3.5% to 3.4%. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow is down 8 at 53,782. NASDAQ is up almost 0.5%. The S&P is also in the green. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Here's Alex Williams.
A little better news on the West Freeway, Sabrina. The crash I-20 eastbound past Riverside Parkway, that has cleared. All lanes are back open, so delays out of Lithia Springs are improving. Construction up in Kennesaw, right lane knocked out with this one, just like yesterday, 75 north. Getting past Wade Green Road, exit 273, and for Forsyth County, left lane construction in both directions on Georgia 400 between McGinnis Ferry Road and McFarland Parkway. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 92. Scattered rain, showers, and thunderstorms this afternoon, and a few thunderstorms will linger overnight into early tomorrow morning. Lows in the mid-70s, then climbing to a high of 95 for tomorrow afternoon. By Friday, daytime highs will climb to the upper 90s.
82 degrees in Woodstock, 84 in Jefferson, Marietta. You have 83 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News, updating just how hot it's going to be this weekend. And Scottsblade's Georgia for this week, how a Gwinnett campus is helping the major shortage of doctors. We start at 5 on 95.5 WSB.
Coming up next, Deborah's got tickets to give away, and Kim Commando wants to talk about the best meteor shower of 2026 and those gamers hired by the FAA. She'll explain next on The Mark Arum Show.
Heavy rains and storms recently dumped a lot of water on Atlanta area homes in a very short time. Quite a stress test for your roof, and another reminder that your roof is the first line of defense to keep water out and protect everything you own and love. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys, and the only roofer I trust. A few hours of severe downpours can expose leaks from years of wear and tear. After storms like this, think of Findlay first. They've replaced over 65,000 roofs locally with high-quality work, upfront pricing, and exceptional service. Findlay makes it easy with 0% financing and roof replacement starting at just $139 per month. So if our recent storms have led to water inside your home, or if you just want peace of mind, get started with your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
At Ameris Bank, we know it's never just business when it's your business. So we're here to be your partner. Whether you're launching a startup, expanding locations, or managing daily finances at your company, you can do it all with a committed financial partner on your side. Our expert business bankers are ready to empower you on your financial journey. We're Ameris Bank, and we're fiercely yours. Visit your local branch or learn more at amerisbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle crash, you're probably asking, who do I trust? There's only one firm to call, friends, the attorneys at Sweet James. You've seen them all over Atlanta. Here's what makes them different. Many of the Sweet James attorneys used to represent insurance companies, so they know how they work and what comes next. Sweet James steps in, takes over, helps you get to the right doctors, and handles your case so you can focus on healing. They fight to get you the most money possible and help you get back on the road. They've recovered over over $2 billion for injured accident victims, and you pay nothing unless they win. Call for a free case review, 800-9-MILLION, 800-900-0000, and sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:37 here on the Mark Arum Show. Kim Commando in a minute, seconds away from winning tickets, but Alex Williams just buzzed in, Deborah. Very worried about Vinny Drip's health right now. Vinny under the weather. You've tried the hot tea with honey, Vicks Vapor Rub, menthol cough drops. Via the Piccadilly text line, my mom says maybe you should have an enema after work today. So go home and give yourself an enema.
A what?
Enema. Yeah, it's fine. Google it. It'll be fine.
M&M?
Enema. Enema. Very different from an M&M.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mix the two up. But you have no idea what that is.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, we just feel bad for you, Vinny. We want you to get well soon, my friend. All right, let's give away tickets, Deborah. What do we have?
Pair of tickets to see Sugarland. Win them before you can buy them. Tickets are going to be at Gas South Arena on November 7th, and tickets go on sale officially at Ticketmaster.com this Friday at 10 a.m.
All right, let's pour some Sugarland on you. Eighth caller again to B.A. Brooke at 404-872-0750. Eighth caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Sugarland. Win them before you buy them, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and WSB.
She's a lady.
Joining us live, longtime friend and colleague, the digital guru, the goddess that is Kim Commando. Kim, good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm fabulous, and I'm super excited about tonight.
Tonight, will you have a hot date? You're ready for Vinny's. Vinny's going to have an enema. What are you excited about tonight?
I'm glad that you clarified the M&Ms. Absolutely. The persons, they peak tonight. Get this, over like 100 shooting stars an hour, visible from every state. Basically, these shooting stars are grains of sand that are hitting the sky at about 104,000 miles per hour and burning at 3,000 degrees. And it's just amazing.
And so if we're here, Eastern Seaboard, Atlanta, East Coast, what time would the Perseid meteor shower be visible here?
Here's the deal. You want to go out after 11. Later is better. Get away from all the lights, even the porch lights. Give your eyes about 20 minutes to adjust.
Okay.
And no phone scrolling, okay? Just lie back and take in the whole
Enjoy
sky.
it all. All right, so I'm just looking at
don't need a telescope
the
at all.
weather app here. It looks like clear skies at 11 and then partly cloudy between noon and 4 a.m. So hopefully we'll have a nice clear window to see all the thousands of shooting stars, hundreds of shooting stars an hour. What is the number?
It's, yes, up to 100 shooting stars an hour, and it's visible from every state. And if you want to take pictures, you can. I mean, your phone, like on your iPhone, it has night mode, and it offers a 30-second exposure when it's braced. Prop it up against something steady. Pixel and other Android phones, they have night sight that actually flips it directly into astrophotography mode.
Oh, interesting. And no moon tonight, so it'll be a darker sky.
Yes. The peak actually lands on a new moon, and that means zero moonlight washing out the faint ones. It's the darkest peak in years. I mean, people who are bona fide sky watchers, they have waited years and years for this lineup. So, I know it's late for you, but if you can get out after 11 p.m. and just look up, prepared to be amazed.
Deborah wants to know if you have to wish on every shooting star, or do you do selective wishing?
I would do every star. Absolutely.
So get 100 wishes ready, Deborah.
It's $1 billion Powerball tonight.
That's right, the Powerball. Everyone's going to be wishing on that. Kim, I talked about this story yesterday. The FAA, Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary, famously of MTV's Real World, has recruited 2,000 video gamers to become air traffic controllers. Your initial reaction to this hiring surge?
Amazing, phenomenal. I mean, your kid's 10,000 hours on the couch. Let me tell you, the FAA just turned that into a job qualification, all right? The job is a video game with really high stakes, right? I mean, tracking a dozen moving targets, split-second calls, hours of focus. And the FAA is betting that all those reflexes transfer from screens to skies.
Interesting. Now, I thought it was great because we've had this manpower shortage of air traffic controllers, and it sounds like the skill set translates amazingly from video games to what the FAA folks do. 6 figures, right? You don't need a college degree to do this. My only concern, I said this yesterday, was just everyone picture what, the imaginary or someone in your real world that is a gamer. And they go nonstop, right? They'll game for 24, 48 straight hours. Nothing.
Sure.
I'm worried that the gamers might get bored just directing airplanes, and they might instead just pick up and start gaming on their phone while they're not paying attention to the airplanes.
Well, there is that. And also the thing I thought is, they have to know that if something happens, there's no respawning. These people are not coming back.
You don't just restart the game once the 757 hits the pavement. Kim, everyone listening right now is going to nod their heads when I say, it's so weird. My wife and I were talking about buying a blender, and then an hour later on Facebook, we get a blender ad. Of course they're listening to us on our phones. You say not really.
Not really. New research from Northeastern University. They had 17,000 popular apps they tracked for a full year. And they were hunting for all these secret recordings that have been sent to advertisers. And they actually found none. What's actually happening is even creepier. They don't need your voice. Consumer Reports found the average person's info gets handed to Facebook by almost 2,500 different companies. So we're talking about stores and apps and data brokers. Facebook, they don't need to listen. They have receipts. And plus, your location, where you stand, the phones you hang out with, meaning the other people around you, and your own brain. I mean, you said it out loud, so now you are noticing that ad is always there. So there are some things that you can do. You can get into your settings, look at microphone on your iPhone, and then take off all the permissions. On Android, it's going to be called Permission Manager. And so that's where you maybe are actually giving permission for some app to actually track you, what you text, what you say in an email, whatever, where you go, because you've never read the terms and conditions of any app that you've ever put on your phone.
Yeah.
We just, it comes up and you're like, oh, yeah, I agree to that.
Accept.
Whatever.
I accept.
So it's not listening. It doesn't have to. See, they built a model of you so accurate that it actually feels like eavesdropping. It's actually cheaper than listening, and it's perfectly legal.
Interesting. Can I ask a selfish personal question here?
Absolutely.
So my wife and I adopted a 6-year-old Doberman from Doberman Rescue of Atlanta about a month ago. And
how wonderful.
I know. He's so sweet. Walter is his name. And my wife, very protective of Walter, ordered him like this GPS collar where we can track him. And she's been trying to set it up to our home Wi-Fi, but she can't connect. And it says that there's a certain Wi-Fi frequency that it needs to be on. And I was absolutely lost. Do you have any idea? Are there different frequencies of Wi-Fi that I have to turn on or off?
Yeah, there's 2 bands. 2.6 and 5.2.
Okay.
And so
it was 2.6, yeah.
So what you have to do is get into your router settings.
Okay.
And then make sure that the frequency that you're working with is actually 2.6. It sounds like it's not. And then it should be able to connect to that. But those GPS collars are really fabulous. I mean, there's a new one that's from Phi. And I've been looking at this for my dog, but it's pretty big, but it might be okay on a Doberman. But it actually uses satellite tracking instead of Wi-Fi or cellular tracking like most of them do.
Interesting.
So if you're out and about in an area where there's not a lot of cell towers and you still want to track your dog, that this is a good way to do it. I mean, of course, I have air tags on my dogs too. So and there are these little containers and holders that you can buy on Amazon that you can put the air tag on, and it attaches right to the dog's collar. It's waterproof. And so that's an option as well.
Yeah, but that's not the $200 subscription my wife just paid for to make sure we know where. Don't get me started, Kim.
Walter. You know what? Dogs are fabulous. I have 2 golden retrievers. I mean, I'm a big dog person.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of work. They're like having kids.
They
are.
I'm
just saying.
Exactly. All right. Well, excellent, Kim. I'm going to do that. Make sure we can track Walter wherever he goes. Kim, enjoy the meteor shower tonight, my friend.
I will. You too. Go outside. Go up.
Absolutely. I'm gonna. Oh, we do have news though from Christina Edwards, Deborah. on the Piccadilly text line. Sadly, Christina says that there will be cloud cover here in North Georgia. Cloudy skies due to lurking storms. So
I'll just look online and look at the pictures.
You and I will go to Hartsfield after the show, fly out to Kim's palatial estate in Arizona.
No, she's in California, right?
She's in
Kim?
California
Yeah.
right now. Okay. Either way, enjoy it if you can. 11:47 on the Mark Arum Show. Congrats to Craig incoming. He won a pair of tickets. Win them before he can buy him tickets to see Sugarland. Winners or losers on the roads right now, Alex Williams?
Not winning right now through Kennesaw, Mark, and it's all due to right lane construction. It's 75 north. The barrels are out, passing Wade Green Road exit 273. Brake lights all the way back to 575. Left lane construction both ways in Forsyth County, Georgia 400, between McGinnis Ferry Road and McFarland Parkway. And on the ride into Midtown, 85 and 75, 85 south, a little sluggish approaching 17th Street down to North Avenue. Traffic brought to you by ReliableAir.com. If some rooms are already warmer than others, your system's not distributing air properly. Visit ReliableAir.com. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Von Hessler.
If you are in a stable but relatively new relationship.
He's more than just a radio talk show host.
If you're a guy and the girlfriend.
He's a relationship expert.
Bought an item from the trash of Taylor Swift's wedding.
For your ride home.
I have one word of advice.
And your escape.
Run!
Eric Von Hessler.
Leave your stuff in the apartment and never return to get it.
Today at 3, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Now through Sunday, bring relaxation home from Georgia Spa Company for less during the Red Tag sales event. Do what I did. Start slipping into the hot tub at night if the kids have gone to bed, or do it in the morning. Take a cold plunge and wake you up, but get into a wellness and relaxation routine. They've got hot tubs, they've got saunas, they've got cold plunges, they've got swim spas, and now is the Red Tag sales event. Check them out, georgiaspacompany.com. Prioritize your wellness and relaxation. georgiaspacompany.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Proud supporters of iPaw Rescue, a nonprofit founded by legendary business activist Carl Icahn, where 100% of donations go to saving dogs' lives. That's AA MCO.
Is your termite guy wandering around your yard playing hide and seek with your bait stations?
Mark Arum with Matt Breda from Breda Pest Management.
They should be checking bait stations, but they often don't know where they are. And worse, they're not checking for termite damage inside.
Switch to Breda for total termite protection inside and out. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
MyLand has been around for decades, helping homeowners reduce their mortgage expenses. Homeowners like me. This is Scott Slade. The latest trend, homeowners accessing their equity without touching their low rate on their first mortgage. MyLand can help you access the equity with a home equity line of credit. These loans could close quickly and even have options for a low fixed rate. So many homeowners feel trapped with a great rate on their mortgage but have credit card debt that just doesn't seem to go away. These loans are a great tool for this purpose. Call MyLand today. See how a home equity loan can work for you. I've been saying it for years, and I'll keep saying it. The guys and gals at MyLand are the best. Do yourself a favor. Call them today and see for yourself. You'll be glad you did. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769. MyLand's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louis found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louis has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louis.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Listen up, fellas. You've been dealing with that receding hairline, the bald spot, the thinning hair. It's time to check out my pals at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you for a couple of reasons why I suggest Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair stands by the results. Their before and after pictures, second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians and modern technology. It's the most unbelievable experience in the business. And finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, easy, and they got you covered. Bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning hair. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that savings opportunity, it's here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 470-660-HAIR.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Fredo. 11:54 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy heavenly birthday, actor John Cazale. Passed away in 78. Was Fredo in The Godfather. Dog Day Afternoon, Deer Hunter. Amazing brief acting career for John Cazale. Have you seen all the Godfathers yet, Vane?
Those movies are too long. My attention
He doesn't
span-
like long. Remember, he went to see the
Remember?
Odyssey and it was too long.
Yeah.
That was long.
Oh, speaking of movies, blockbuster movie numbers this summer. I'm actually excited. I went to what was the name of the place downtown?
Cosm.
I went to Cosm. Now I'm excited to go back to movie theaters. I thought my movie theater days were done.
It's not the movies, it's the people in the theaters. They can't put their phones down or they get up too much.
Everyone was well behaved in Cosm.
But that's what I don't
Yes.
like about going to the theater. I still love seeing movies in the theater.
But we have record-breaking summer movie box office numbers. $4 billion or $2 billion? What was the number that it was hit?
655 million domestically, 460.
Well, we have Spider-Man, and then
Spider-Man,
there's the
Odyssey, and then of course Toy Story, which I can't believe you haven't seen. Are the big ones that have come in this summer.
Yeah, it's
I haven't watched Toy Story yet.
Me either.
I don't have time.
You've seen Toy Story.
I'm talking about the new one.
He hasn't seen any of them.
I can't jump in at number 5. I gotta start at number 1 and do it. You know what? Stop recommending me amazing TV shows to me, and maybe I'll catch up on the Toy Stories, Deborah. Don Rickles is in that, right? Isn't Don Rickles in Toy Story?
Oh yeah, he's in Toy Story.
Love Don Rickles. Rest in peace. All right. Yeah, everyone's going back to the movies, including Brad Nitz. Brad Nitz just goes for the popcorn, though. He doesn't stay for the movie.
Now you know, because of the Mark Arum Show.
Rick Jackson unveiled this morning really a plan to support and bolster minority-owned businesses and really disadvantaged corridors, not just in Atlanta, but across the state.
Political analyst Stephen Lawson live in studio, in depth on the Georgia races and that big announcement by the Jackson campaign today. Now you know
that the president was not on the Legacy 747 as it flew out of Turkey. The president had slipped out on a catering truck that was pulled around to the military equivalent of a 757 that he flew on with the defense secretary.
Amazing new details on that cloak and dagger James Bond plane switcheroo. That was Stephen Portnoy from ABC, joined us live in D.C. Now you know.
Anti-Thanksgiving. It turns out she had some bad things to say about Valentine's Day, hates Halloween, so it was just one thing after another, although she did backtrack and now claims that her favorite holiday is Thanksgiving.
That was Robin Colbert, news director from a radio station in Madison, Wisconsin. A big headline yesterday out of the primary system in Wisconsin for the Democratic primary. Finally, now you know.
There's the Board of Peace mandate that the United Nations Security Council endorsed only lasts until 2027. If no significant progress has been made, it won't be extended by the Security Council and it won't have that kind of legal backing.
Laura Kelly from The Hill joined us on the cloudy future of President Trump's Board of Peace. Now you know, because of the Mark Arum Show.
Now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum Star of the Show?
Star of the Show goes to Deborah for designing the Herd shirt. Star of the Show goes to me for buying 4 dozen of them to hand out to Fred Blankenship, Steve Lawson, Vinny Drip. Vinny's under the weather. I'm going to give you a Star of the Show. Brooke, B.A. Brooke, good job. One guest, Deborah. Who gets the Star of the Show of all our guests?
Oh, who did we have?
I'm going to go the lady in Wisconsin, Robin Colbert from Madison. Yeah. Social media is active. Go order your Vinny Drip shirts at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Wednesday, Atlanta.
On that midnight train to Georgia. Leaving on that midnight train.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard. Sponsored by Southern Exteriors.
A lot of people talk badly about